Ali, 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 yeah. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. I praise the Lord for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank the Lord for his blessings. I'll leave us the circle 7. Islam, Islam, Islam. Moorish America want to rise upon the 7 and give all praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. Give honors to our Grand National Seal, Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything, and I do mean everything, that our holy prophet brought to make us a nation. I want to welcome you to another late night library session, and I'm your host instructor, Dr. Shahid Imani Amohadi Shabazz El. My ancient Comedian high name being the same is Dr. Shedawa Mintiel Muhajid Shepsuel, and I come forth with a grand drawing of clarity is what I want to set out in relation to dealing with this special measure. Now, I want to do something real quick here and make sure. I want to put a disclaimer up here before I go into a lot of this information right here in my description. That way, once I do that right there, we can deal with, these measures if ones try to bring conflict as a result of this. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let me do it. I'm going to drop it in the description. And after I do that, I'm going to go forward. That way I ain't got to worry about these people trying to strike the channel. So let me drop this in my description real quick, and we're going to proceed with the measure. So it's going to be a grand drawing, family, so our family can see what's going on and know history, since we got individuals, trying to spin narratives, and that way we can move beyond this. We want to always be transparent with our people. you know, so that our people can see exactly what's going on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pretty much let the information itself speak for itself because it's already been recorded. In regards to dealing with this information, I'm just making sure I got my volume turned up, you know, and had a brother come on our channel last night, and y'all seen it if you was on here, and he was trying to address me in relation to dealing with some debate going back and forth with me and the individual that's going to be addressed in this particular video here. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to let y'all see what's going on, how it led up to the conversation and everything, you know, and I want the people to be able to see this so they can see exactly what went on and how it went down. And you know, we'll open up. I probably even open it up and drop the link in there for people that want to come in early and give their drawing, you know, but we want to make sure that our people can see what's going on here. So just give me 1 second, family. And this is going to be a grand drawing. Give me one more. I want to do this as well. 1 second here. Like I say, we want to really expose. What's really going on, as opposed to what individuals are trying to speak about having no knowledge of it. Okay. So, okay, that's all good and well. All right. Let me make sure I got that there. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, you see the title of this measure is Agent Trojan Horse. The recap. Let the people be the judge and jury. Because I already had set this information out, but many of you probably had no knowledge of who, you know, I was at the time. You know, so we giving you insight so that you can see exactly why there's tension with this special one. And we're going to go back here. The first place to go back is here. So let me share my screen. That same conference that y'all seen me share last night, we're going to go right back to that conference so you can see. Okay, let me share the screen. All right. So we invited this individual to our conference, and I want you to listen to the tone.
Islam. How y'all doing? First and foremost, I rise giving praise. I mean, what happened? What I do? No, for real, I'm like an excited Moorish American Muslim. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But first and foremost, let me rise and give praise to the great God of the universe, Allah. I'm talking about the Lord that woke us all up today. We ain't do nothing to deserve to get up. We ain't do nothing. So I give praise to Allah. I give honor to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. You know, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be sitting here today. Am I correct? So let me say, Prophet put me on the spot. I don't have nothing prepared. I just came to show love. I love the unity of the Moorish Americans. I love when we can come together and try to solve this Negro problem. As the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we got to solve it. It's our problem. You know, me and the brother go toe to toe. Me and the brother go toe to toe. I mean, we beat down, drag each other about this information, but at the end of the day, we recognize that we are from the same source. At the end of the day,
I want y'all to listen to that now. You see how he's speaking. You know, yeah, we from the same source and the unity. I love the unity now. Watch this.
We realize that we are the children of one father and the breast of one mother has given you something. That's what we understand. Now, I don't know what y'all understand. I disagree with these brothers like 1,000% on everything. Because my thing is this. I am all for nationhood. I am all for that because that's what the Prophet designed us to work towards. Am I correct? But I always argue the point that
notice that's what the Prophet designed us to work toward, nationhood now. Listen to her.
If we can't live on a block together, 2 or 3 blocks together, 4 blocks together, in a district together, then we putting the cart before the horse. So I think it's come time that everybody in here, I'm gonna plant the seed. You know my gospel, that we got to begin to plan to live together. Once we begin to live together, we can put our coins together. Once we put our coins together, we
sound good, don't it?
control the economics of where we live at. Once we control the economics where we live at, we can control the political landscape where we live at. And then we can develop into a strong nation. Now, like I say, other roads, I'm with. I got your back. I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. But I'm telling you, I'm one of them ones on the ground, mortar to the brick, brick to the mortar, and building a nation. So I want to encourage everybody that if you have it in your heart, you have the love of Allah in your heart for your people, let's try to get some people to build brick to the mortar, mortar to the brick to the ground on a square, building up perpendicular. That's where I'm at with it. But I appreciate you, but don't be trying to cut me off, bro. You won't give me the mic and Nah, praise be to Allah. I'm just a happy Moorish American. I appreciate you. Thank y'all. This is just my spirit. Thank you, and I appreciate y'all.
Okay, so there we go. We received the brother, in love. We received the brother in love. We let him get on our rostrum and speak. Now, this is the next day after him saying what he said. Somebody, the same brother that invited him to our meeting, that was a part of the government at the time, basically that brother called me like, man, this brother going in on us, man. I'm like, what? He was just speaking. We let him get on the rostrum yesterday and he going in against us. You see? So here it is. This is the next day after all that he was saying right there on our rostrum now. Watch this.
So I'm going to get his call. I'm going to get 1 or 2 more calls.
This is when I done got the call. And, the brother told me, man, this brother tripping. Because we had been on his show before, a little bit before that, but listen to this. I'm calling in now. Watch this. This is the day after him just saying what he said.
We'll do this again, man. I got Islam, peace and love. Who I'm talking to?
Islam.
Islam, peace and love. Who I'm talking to? Where you calling from?
Islam, you know who this is, Muslim.
Come on, brother. Can you tell the people who I'm talking to stop acting like that, my brother?
Nah, you good, brother. This brother Shaheed, the same brother you talked to at the conference, brother.
What Shaheed? Brother, tell the people who you are. Stop that, brother. All of those smooth Billy T silky talking. Talk to the people. What's going on?
A Muslim. Islam. I'm here to talk to you more about this government demonstration you just put out here.
More. I'm not going to stay on here at 11 o'clock. We can do another show about it. We can organize it and we can talk about it. But go ahead and say your piece.
Yeah, basically what I want to draw out more is you came out there to the conference yesterday. You didn't address none of that, more.
More.
You embraced, you locked hands and all of that.
Hey, more. Did I get in front of the people? Did I get in front of the people and say I don't agree with y'all?
Let me say this.
No, don't try to make me be a fake and phony. Did I say I don't agree with y'all?
Get mad, more. I'm a God, man.
More, I asked you a question because I tell the whole story.
It's not, brother. Either you demonstrate love or you not.
No, I love you, but I don't mean I agree with you.
It's all love, brother. I ain't got nothing against you.
Nothing against you either, more. Did I say in front of the people that I disagree with you?
Let me say this. You ain't got to agree with me, Muslim.
I didn't ask you that.
Let me say this. What I'm trying to get you to understand is, brother, you building a stick man argument. The Moorish American government is not trying to overthrow the Moorish Science Temple of America, Muslim. We're not trying to replace the Moorish Science Temple of America, Muslim. In other words, what is it in the Prophet's teaching that support what we demonstrate? That's what I'm trying to get you to see. You don't have to embrace that. Did the Prophet not say he was going to leave the European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government?
More.
I see that.
More. Okay, can I answer?
That?
Can I answer?
Go ahead. Did he say that?
More.
No, now.
Let me say something. The prophet say he's going to keep the European around long enough to teach you how to run a government. Now my question is for you. He said it. My question to you.
Okay.
What apprenticeship of a European has you been under that gives you qualified to run a government?
Now, the more
Answer my question.
Did you hear what he said? What apprenticeship under a European that I've been under that qualified me to run a government? In other words, he's saying that we got to be approved by Europeans. You know, when we know that we learned everything we needed to learn up under the European by the way we've been treated under the European. That's the real European education that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is referring to. But you're going to see how this goes. Now, mind you, you see he already up in arms. And I'm just calling him because he was actually in this video, he was slandering the government. You know, saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff. I'm like, man, we just let this brother get up here. You see what his tone was when he was speaking on the rostrum. But, you know, this is totally different right here. You see what I'm saying? This is where our conflict started at. Because he was trying to bring up, you know, the government as a rival to the temple. And I was calling in, telling this brother to stop doing that. You know, but he already had this in mind. This was a part of his agenda anyway, you know, to make us his opposition.
Question now.
God Allah instituted laws for the government.
Man, I didn't ask you that. Brother, if you can't answer my question, we ain't going to have this conversation. I'm going to hang up on the brother. He asked me a question and I answered. I asked him a question. He want to move on and proselytize. Now, my question for him was, the prophet says he's going to leave the European here long enough to teach you how to run a government. Right? Now the question becomes, if the European is here to teach you how to run a government, what European have you been an apprentice under? What part of the government have you worked in? Matter of fact, who in the Moorish American government worked into legitimate government? See, he can't ask me a question and then want to go on to something else. I said, you asked one? Okay, now let me ask. But if the prophet, we ain't getting that. We ain't getting into that. You know what I mean? If you want to have a conversation, it got to be structured. You ask me a question, did the prophet say they're going to keep the European around long enough to teach you how to run a government? I say yes. Now my question, which one of you guys went into the Moorish American government that have adulterated the flag, adulterated the Constitution and bylaws of the Moorish side of America? Which one of y'all have held a government position? I'll wait. They never held no government position. Know nothing about no government. He gonna leave the European around long enough to teach you how to run a government, and you ain't learned nothing. You're just talking. Just talking. You know what I mean? And if you felt disrespect because I hung up, no, I'm not really being disrespectful. What I'm doing is we gonna cut that short because it ain't gonna go nowhere. You drank the Kool-Aid, bro. And then he gonna say, you came there and pressed hands. I absolutely did. But let me tell you what also I did. I stood up in front of everybody and said, I don't disagree. I say 90% of what y'all teach, I do not agree. But I do understand.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say 90% of what we teach he disagree. Y'all know good and well he didn't say that. He said me and the brothers go back and forth. But when it come down to it, I'm about the unity. So you see, this is a fork-tongued serpent right here. So this is what started the conflict on his behalf, because I really didn't care. My main thing is, me and this dude never had no run-in prior to him hanging up the phone, you know, by me asking him a question. You see? And I'm going to get into the actual debate we supposed to have that he ran from for years. And then you're going to notice that his friends and his peers was actually judging against me in this so-called debate that we were supposed to have. You see? And some of the individuals were in disagreement with the Moorish doctrine and a whole bunch of other things. And so that's why certain decisions were made. And some of this has to do with people that didn't even know what was being talked about. They didn't even know what they were judging on. I'm gonna show it to y'all. We had a brother come up in here last night, mud slanging, trying to make something what it ain't. So we just want to bring clarity to the minds of the masses and also inform the masses. Y'all get a chance to see what's really going on. Because the discussion we have is who is following Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And this is how I know that these individuals didn't know what was being stated. Because this brother had went way outside of the prophet's teaching, as he is right now. But anyway,
the relation that bindeth us to love and unity, and that relation has nothing to do with me agreeing with you. I said that in front of the whole Moorish American government. That's what I said. That's what I said. In front of the whole Moorish American government, I said I don't agree with you.
You see? Now he trying to act like he was bringing, heat like this. No, he said me and the brothers disagree. Basically, we disagree, but basically, I'm about the love and the unity. You know what I mean? But like I said, we hadn't had no conflict. I was given a call that this brother had did this video, and this is the day after we was building. This is the day after we let this guy get on our roster. And he went to trying to compare what we had and go against
That's what
it is that we teach.
And in studying these items, you will have something to compare to. You will have something to compare to. But when you don't study these and you study somebody else, you have nothing to compare to. You don't have a measuring stick. You don't have a measuring stick. You do not have a measuring stick. Period, point blank. Brother, Mang Adap, email me to hunkabay@yahoo.com. You can come on here anytime you want to. You can come on there with me anytime you want to. Brother, you know I ain't lying. I heard the brother just like you heard the brother. Brother, you can defend it all you want. I don't mean I don't love you. That don't mean you're not my brother. But I'm telling you, I was offended when he tried to claim that this was the Moorish flag and the Prophet Noble Drew Ali revealed it to him.
See that? You see that? This is what it boiled down to. This is what started the conflict right here. He disagreed with the Moorish flag that we have. Now, first and foremost, Noble Drew Ali say, what kind of flag is the Moorish flag? Not the Moroccan flag. The Moroccan flag is already flying in the UN, the United Nations. So if you go up there with the Moroccan flag and you claiming it's Moorish and it's already flying there, for one, the UN gonna look at you like you're crazy. And the second aspect, Morocco gonna say, what are they doing with my flag? He had this situation when he was dealing with a Moroccan. He had a conversation with one. They were like, well, why y'all using our flag? Because that's considered an act of war. You see what I'm saying? Basically, Noble Drew Ali, when he brought that banner, he displayed it upside down, showing that Morocco was living in adversity to the principles in which they represented. So they wasn't living according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They helped enslave our people. They helped bring our people into bondage, the Al-Bidan. You see? But he say the prophet didn't bring this banner. But the prophet did bring this banner. He brought the 5 principles back just as they was in that scimitar circle. The star in LTPF and J was his adept symbol. Our chairman was just sharp enough to utilize the ingredients as they were passed down, into his consciousness to manifest it. That way, we ain't got to worry about trying to justify, our flag and calling the Moroccan flag Moorish. This is our Moorish flag with a red with a 5-pointed open green star in the center. You see, this is the Moorish flag, not Moroccan flag. You see? And so, but this brother was on here attacking, and I was called, and I called in, and you see, he hung up on me. So that wasn't a big deal, but from that point on, he would be attacking certain things I post in Facebook and all this. And so by the time I end up running into the people in the Lions Den, they set up a measure after he had ran a long time. And if you look at the date of this, you see the date right there, that's 6 years ago. You see what I'm saying? We end up running into each other maybe probably about a year and a half ago, somewhere 2 years ago, maybe. After all that time, him running and still coming in my page trying to attack my posts. And so, that's where that started at. So I'm showing you my rebuttal to the discussion that we had. You see? And I don't even like to use the term debate. I always tried to tell them, brother, a discussion. But for the sake of teaching the people, that's what they call it. That's what they call it. But we have a certain teaching. We say a debate ain't nothing but an argument between two fools. That's why I don't like using the term debate. I like to use the term dialogue and discussion. And in most cases, ain't nobody gonna get nothing when you got people just arguing for the sake of arguing. And also, it is core doctrine in our teaching, for example, dealing with the esoteric truth about competition. We ain't here to compete with nobody. That's all dealing with Maya and illusion. Anytime I get up there, even if it is somebody that's opposing what I'm saying, I don't look at myself as being their opponent, so to speak, but in order to teach my people and give them insight and knowledge, if I got to, demonstrate scimitar talk, so to speak, to deal with these foes, an adversary, so to speak, then so be it. That's the world I'm living in, so to speak. I didn't set that deck. That's just the way it is in what we call the so-called conscious community. But my main focus is never, trying to win a trophy or award. My main focus is my people that's trying to learn. My people that want to know, in regards to dealing with information, get some clarity, not get up here and act crazy and look crazy. It ain't no purpose in that. So anytime you hear me, most of the time I'm responding to somebody that has attacked me or my Moorish American government first. And so I oblige them. I give them a response, a favorable reply. But I don't never go down into the low. I don't go to cussing people out. This man done got in my inbox, talking about, yeah, I want to fight you and all, all that type of stuff. And when I was up there and we ran into each other, oh, brother, that's just the internet. We just talking. You know what I mean? So, I'm beyond that type of demonstration. But, this brother called me, the PU. I can go into all that right there in my inbox. Cuss me out, So, this is deeper than rap when it comes to dealing with, this individual. I went on about my life. He went on about here. But he got plenty of videos, too, where he done made about me and my chairman. He made a Jive Turkey edition, where he put me up there in the chairman and was mocking us and all of that. I seen all of that. It was funny to me. But he's slandered my chairman based on false accusations. And so when I first went on Sarnetta's TV, that's the first person that came up. He came up in there after I was building with Sa and tried to attack the bill and slander my chairman then. And I spanked him on the spot where he showed off at. That's where I spanked him at. You see? And so basically, I already seen this guy. He do what he do. I don't really pay too much attention to him like that there. But I know he ain't cut from the cloth I'm cut from. Ain't no hatred or nothing like that. I'm just saying, if we let you come on our rostrum and you speak as if you want unity between the people, and then you do this the next day, I'm looking at you sideways like, where that come from? Y'all seen the picture in our last measure where I showed you me and the brother hand clasping? So, I just don't deal with being fake and phony, people. I ain't finna act like I'm cool with you if I ain't cool with you. I ain't gonna build with you like I'm talking about unity, then the next day I'm attacking you. That's fake. That's phony. I ain't that type of, if I don't deal with you, I don't deal with you. We ain't finna act like it. We ain't finna be diplomatic about it or nothing. And so I was taken away by that situation when I got the call the next day after letting somebody, you ain't let 2 weeks go by, a month or something for you. You already had this plan. So anyway, our chairman said it best. I'm going to give you a portion. I'm going to come back to this right here because I want to get into the video. He said, to all African athletes, entertainers, politicians, celebrities, heroes, participators, and spectators, etc. And this is dealing with the esoteric truth about competition. More often than not, a person endures a greater hurt from what they don't know than what they think they know. The descendants of ex-slaves in the United States need a crash course in natural uses of their bodies. If man does not know precisely what the body is to be used for, then he and his fellow men will misuse and abuse it. Noble Drew Ali taught in his Creation and Fall of Man, chapter 1, that creative fate gave to spirit man a soul that he might function on the plane of soul, gave him a body of flesh that he might function on the plane of things made manifest. Man is not the soul or the body. His essence is pure spirit, as pure as the divine source from whence he came. His body was given to him for the sole purpose to function on the plane of things made manifest. But today, the majority of man's uses of his body is absorbed in competition and not being used to function in harmony with his soul and God state. The paradoxically, it says, of this status is applied to the so-called blacks, mainly because they have no idea of who they are and therefore is the most vulnerable, it says, to body misuses. It states, the foundation of Western competition rests solely upon duality, which spurned the list of little differences used by Willie Lynch, a master of mental slavery among men. Under the auspices of competition, African bodies in the Western Hemisphere are misused around the clock, be it sports, entertainment, styles, family, religions, or professional athletics. The body is subjected to stress, drugs, garbage foods, injuries, concussions, and unnatural diseases manifold. Forgotten is the most basic of all bodily functions, health. In speaking further on the divinity of the human body, Ali teaches, the blessings, O man, of thy external part are health and vigor in proportion. The greatest of these is health. What health is to the body, even that is honesty to the soul. Competition is now used as the home of physical fitness. What the once called colored people must come to maintenance of the human body, which is a gift from the great God. I come to realize, pardon me if I skip the line. It says, come to realize this competition has nothing to do with health. Health is of the great harmonies of life and its holistic maintenance of the human body, which is a gift from the great God. Competition is the most dangerous, in-your-face killer pacified to African minds since the advent of the United States 14th and 15th Amendments. It is in the nature of competition to sedate the plight of the God self and keep the mind earthbound. Rarely is the poisonous side of competition discussed, although death is its most assured results. To write the laconic truth of the word competition is to reveal it as competition is Satan's world of rivalry. It is ruled by the multi-headed beast of Euro nations, whose heart is a secret society called the Illuminati. All competition is naught, negative, paganistic, and polytheistic. It offers no salvation to the credible side of consciousness, or in the words of those who tell the English what a word means, Black's Law Dictionary, competition, contest between two rivals, the effort of two or more parties acting independently to secure the business of a third party by the offer of the most favorable terms. It is the struggle between rivals for the same trade at the same time. Compete, to contend enmiously, to strive for the position, reward, or profit, goal, etc., for which another is striving. Webster's College Dictionary quotes competition, the act of competing, rivalry for supremacy, a prize of favor. If the reader notices a strong distinction in the author's definition of competition, then those of public dictionaries, it is purely in the application of the word. It is in the best interest of the European publishers of dictionaries to give the exoteric meaning. However, it is the author's intent, because competition is another layer of dirt which buries the Moorish people in the shadow grave, illegally marked Negroes, black and colored people, NBC, to uncover the esoteric purpose of competition. Understanding competition is similar to knowing the power of a stop sign. There are clear warnings in both words. However, there are inevitable dire consequences for those who participate in the fate of either word. A few fools will try a stop sign, but those who compete are too many to count. The history of competition. Organized competition began in ancient Babylon. The site of Babylon is now in Iraq, about 55 miles south of Baghdad. Competition originated in the dirty mind of its ruler, Nimrod. Nimrod, the son of Cush, grandson of Ham, made rivalry between his kingdom in the land of Shinar, the kingdom of heaven. Bear in mind that heaven refers to man when in his God state of mind. Nimrod founded the cities of Babel, Akkad, and Calneh, and this later led to the building of cities of Nineveh, Rehoboth, Ur, and the birthplace of Abraham. It states, this between the two rivers, the Tigris, it says in the Euphrates, Genesis chapter 2, 8 through 14, see Adam and Eve, right? The name Nimrod means rebel or the hunter. And while history shows Nimrod married his mother, Samaria, it was this marriage which created one of the first of many Madonnas. To this day, the Christian world still celebrate his birthday on December 25th, which Samaria declared into Babylonian national holiday in the honor of her son husband. See the truth about Christmas. Nimrod designed and constructed the world's first empire state building called the Tower of Babel. It was built in competitive defiance to the great God. The Tower of Babel was not built like other structures, unlike the pyramid, Kaaba, or the Moorish earth mounds. And the Tower of Babel was not constructed in the usual ordained harmonious line which unites the earth with the universal order. Nimrod knew, being the grandson of Ham, all structures are to be erected in a creative balance and joined with the will of man and the will of his creator. Yehoshua would reiterate this holy instruction about 3,000 years later with a covenant to our Father. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The Tower of Babel was spectacular in the carnal eyes of his people. They revered the hunter as the victorious champion in his rebellious quest against the Father of the universe. Their single eye was closed, and they could not see except through their two carnal sentinels of the flesh. See the third eye. Later, from 2000 to 1700 BC, these lands suffered waves of massive invasions by pale-skinned people who were discovering ways out of the sanitarium continent of Europe. As they populated the cities of Sumer and Shinar, it became easy to amalgamate their warlike nature to the competitive pagan government established by Nimrod. The aggressive nature of the pale-skinned people spurned from their greed for food. It is rooted in instinct of survival of the fittest. It was this, only the strong survive attitude, which gave rise to rivals after the same objective at the same time. For the reward begot organized competition in governments. In 772 BC, the Olympic Games began in Greece for the amusement only of the European males. The games were held at the Temple of Zeus in Olympia, Greece. The games consisted mainly of foot races, boxing, wrestling, chariot races, and regular fistfights to the death. Huge walled stadiums and arenas were built to separate bloodthirsty Greek and Roman elites from the lower class and captives. With the introduction of the new religion of Christianity, the Olympic Games were considered too barbaric and were abolished in 394 AD. However, with the industrial economic boom in the new Roman Empire in the West, the United States, the games were revived in 1896 to the present day, still for the financial and entertainment purposes of the pale-skinned males. Games of competition of today no longer confined to the 4-year Olympic intervals. Modern games are as sophisticated as the International Stock Exchange, or as personal as an individual Game Boy digital game, from the professional sports to the baby contest, or from adultery to cops and robbers. The plane of rivalry encompasses a friend's struggle in games that would never produce a true conqueror. See dualities. So what does games have to do with black folks? Everything. Remember, the God psychic of the once free African nationals was replaced at birth with the confined slave mind of Negroes, blacks, and colored people, NBC. People labeled NBC, bad news, huh? It says, are themselves political game pieces to be owned and played by European Freemasons. So who you think moving you on the board? You the pawn in the game. It says, in fact, all so-called NBCs are conditioned and programmed for every kind of game conceivable. They are the legal parts to a master game, whether spectators or participators. This is another reason they are called blacks, because they are property parts. There is no group or nation of people on the planet Earth that suck more on the pacifiers of European games of competition per capita than the so-called African Americans. They are unmatched in the expenditures of money, interest, time, and lives, but with no national reward to claim, no wisdom gained, no self-worth in return. These games propagated into the minds of the masses, whose paraphernalia sold in the markets of America are but worthless conjurers of the pale-skinned rulers, yet they are designed to allure, appeal, stimulate, and gratify the weaknesses in the things that men desire. The unsung psychology of competition is that it is a direct play on the weaknesses and desire of the human ego. The NBC people who slumber in the United States today have little comprehension of the magnanimous enslaving powers of competition, nor do they know the full explanation and the hidden cost of keeping up with the Joneses. Useless. Useless. It is possible to beat someone at their own game. Not. Did the Joneses create the games in which the Moors play? Yet, it is not strange that those same European Jones were a nation of people when originating the games, and the NBC were not. Playing another man's game is never fruitful. This is why there's tremendous hidden cost to the high price of not knowing of the self. The greatest deficits are those that result in not constituting themselves into a clean and pure nation. With all due respect, the African superstar athletes and other high-profile entertainers form a nucleus of heroes that are paid to divert the attention of their people away from self-realization. There are only about 3,000 well-sponsored, mega-promoted, and media advertised Negroes used to drug their other 60 million kindred, so to speak. It says again, this is a disclaimer to any ill thoughts to my people, but to show that they too are pawns in the deadly world of another man's competition. Some may ask the question, but what about creative arts and talents, e.g., all the NBC singers, songwriters, dancers, actors, etc.? What about them? The answer is very simple but painful. Again, the NBC are slaves. They were made slaves by their European slave masters during the time of slavery and will remain so until they become a free nation themselves. Thereby, all things created by slaves are manifest of a slave mentality and used to the benefits of the free. Hence, all songs produced by slaves, in fact, slave songs, are in fact slave songs. It says, and cannot be songs of freedom. There's never a time when a slave can sing a freedom song because the status of a slave is never in the realms of freedom. Ergo, all music produced by blacks, whether subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, e.g. gospels, jazz, blues, rock, and roll, rap, spirituals, etc., are songs of slavery. Simple. Here again, the worst part is that it says the entire world of music siphoned from the NBC during slavery was naturally placed into competition, whereas the only true victor is the owners of the NBCs. Most sleepy Moors feel good from the pleasures gained from events of sports and entertainment. Some often become frenzied and fanatical at the height of the dramas. It says, but few give much thought to those marked as incompetent, losers, and failures. Hence, they embedded competition in their children, sports, entertainment, as organized competition, sales, televisions, computers, casinos, 300 tennis shoes, sports wear, stadiums, billion-dollar franchises, condos, conveyances, etc., 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 etc. It says, but by far the greatest product sold and bought by the fruits of competition is the hoax known as time. Hold it right there, time. Who in the world can sell an illusion as obvious as time? Better yet, who's buying it? In answer to the first who, the same people who manipulated man into buying such natural resources as air, water, and land had a very little problem in accommodating the same consumers with segments of time. In fact, they also have a sale on some prime marshland for a new cemetery and a bargain on personalized stars in the galaxy, perfect for Mother's Day gifts, complete with a map of a solar system. The wise know time is only finite duration, yet corner man will buy time, play a game made by another corner man. The ghost called time is marketed and sold at the high cost of one's soul. For the value of the soul, anyone can purchase time to waste in increments of hours, seasons, years, and even popular lifetime package deal. It says the lifetime bargain comes complete with a ludicrous warning label and warranty which guarantees satisfaction to the idle mind. Time for the world of competition is gift wrapped with a variety for the ego, which will blind the eye and hide the heart of any man away from himself. How to recognize competition today. Drew Ali said, truth is the only thing that changes not. In all the world, there are two things. One is truth and the other is falsehood. Falsehood is that which seems to be, Moorish Holy Quran 7 ayat 4. Divine love is truth, and it bonds all living things by accord to all other living things. Love is the saving power, and it does not change. Competition is hatred molded in the semblance of love, but it's falsehood. Competition is the conflict of antagonists in their plight to be independent and separate from the great God. They make selfish wars in the shadow of truth, like moles underground. Competitors are nocturnal in the absence of truth. Competition deals with time and is subject to changes. All things which deal with time change from the time they begin until the time they cease to be. All competitors go through changes because competition is a weakness. They change the score. They change uniform, change the rules, change the prices, change the appearances, change the clock. They make change, then change their mind. Falsehood is full of changes to perpetuate more changes. The only thing about competition that does not change is the fact it is a world for losers. When people sigh and say they are going through changes, they are merely admitting the temporary results of their role in competition. A brief investigation will reveal their rival attached to them, and the third party's reward, goal, or objective still unattained. Competition is strong in the world of dualities. See dualities. It forces deities of similar thinking to become opposed to each other through greed, ego, lust, anger, and hatred. These are weaknesses of the lower self. From this Nimrodic thought pattern, a kingdom of earthly illusions and Maya is formed. And although competitions offer public and private pleasings, the ultimate ends are pain, misery, suffering, grief, insufficiency of knowledge, and death. The divine instruction from the holy prophet Noble Drew Ali quotes, there are two selves, the higher self and lower self. The lower self is the carnal self. The body of desires is a reflection of the higher self distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. The lower self is truth reversed, and so is falsehood manifest. It breeds hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. It is rich in promises, but poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasures, joy, and satisfying gain, but gives unrest, misery, and death. The lower self gives men's apples that are lovely to the eye and pleasant to the smell. Their cores are full of bitterness and gall. We seen that last night, didn't we? He who knows well his lower self knows the illusions of the world, knows of the things that pass away. If you would ask me what to study, I would say yourselves, and you well studied them, and you would ask me what to study next. I will reply yourself. This is what Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught the Moors concerning the higher self and the lower self. Moorish Holy Quran, chapter 3, ayats 5 through 15. This is why competition is Satan's world of rivalry. The world of organized competition was created by man for the subjugation of another man, to enhance his kingdom on earth. As long as he makes people compete, they will remain slaves to sin. Question 37. They will look to him for their reward, their piece of the pie in the land of the free and the home of the slave. They will also call him by the title he gives himself, God. He titled himself white man, so his servant worshippers would be calling him their God. White means purity, purity means God, and God means the ruler of the land. To call him white is to call him your God. There's nothing advantageous. It says, well, there's absolutely no salvation. It says, in the way one spends life. There can be no unfoldment, neither return to the God state when one man is befalling another man for the pleasure of a third Reich, a third empire. It takes very little observation to see the countless trillions of dollars spent worldwide in sustaining competitive sports and entertainment. Actually, these monies only exceed those spent on dynasties of war. It is not uncommon for athletes, showmen, and franchises to be paid more than some countries' GNP, gross national products. It does not take a man of God to see if the money spent on competition were rechanneled to fallen humanity, it would eliminate the world's hungry, poor, diseased, and homeless virtually overday. This distinguishes the work of Satan as opposed to love. In short, those who sponsor, devise, and promote competition do in fact desire for the rich to live while the poor suffer and die. Moorish Holy Quran, chapter 46, ayat 6 through 8. So-called blacks are carefully monitored as they slumber in the murky plains of competition. In the bright of any given sports or domestic events, their inherent good powers are called upon and exploited. It is the spirit of Allah in him, conduit through his melanin, that the Europeans call adrenaline. This is a power which will exert itself at the will of the user. It is a saving power, a God power. Its source is the uppermost part of the temple of man. Of course, Big Brother would say it comes from the kidneys, like kidneys got a mind to think or reason. Oh, the horror. The spirit of competition runs through the veins of modern unorthodox religions. It can begin with the symbol of proselytization and end up with segregation strangely mixed with fashion shows and secret societies in between. Moors, who are fanatic fans of competitive European religions, have learned to thank their God for defeating his opponents. How often have you heard a champion say, "I thank my Lord and Savior, Yahushua Christ, for giving me the strength to slay another man"? Really? Where did they find Yahushua that beat another man to death, for giving, basically competing in the games of carnal men? It says, question 35 and 36. Surely these competitors are not thanking the son of Joseph and Mary, made in the persons of his father, God of life, giving love. It says, this is just a small vice resulting from what happens when people mix competition with Yehoshua or any other truth. So I mean, the chairman go into competition and holidays. He talked about competition and social styles, the fact about the games of competition. He shows all of it, what it breeds. Competitions, you got your losers and your winners, your heroes and your villains, your whites versus black, slave masters and slaves, civilians, conflicts, gamblers, preachers, cowboys, redskins, lovers, players, saved, sinners. Man, he go in. This is why, I tell my people all the time, I'm not here to go back and forth with you. For one, it ain't part of my spirit to be trying to look for, an imperfection in what somebody, I feel they that don't coincide or correspond with what I teach. I don't do that. I'm not thinking about somebody. I don't let nobody rent space in my mind to that extent, to where I'm gonna let them govern my thought to where I'm gonna be thinking about what they doing wrong. My mind just don't work like that. But unfortunately, that's what most of our people focus on. You can get up here right now and offer a plan of salvation, and rather than listen to what's being said and add on something positive, our people, it's always got to be one want to play the devil's advocate, or somebody that want to redirect the course, come behind what you said in order to convolute the conversation. And I call that mindset an agent provocateur mentality, family. Ain't make no mistake about it. And I don't bite my tongue about calling them out. So get the Book of Fire, family. Get this Exhuming of a Nation. If you want a copy, get in touch with my chairman at, again, 434-676-1555. He'll give you an autographed copy. 777 pages of fire. It's a big book, too. So you ain't going to be able to read it, outright. You're going to have to study it. This is our study guide. The chairman did a good job, and you can tell he got his own mind because he don't think like the average individual. These adept thoughts. Try to get our people to thinking on a greater level and always trying to find somebody that's their rival in opposition. That come from the European. We learned that from the European. You can give ones an olive branch and they'll still be trying to attack you. It's a disease, a sickness. That's why my measures is to bridge the gap. When you see me up here teaching, I'm not up here to attack, these different brothers. I'm laying the history out as it is, but I'm showing our people what we want at so they can use those as bridges of unity. We got to give all the history, though. We can't sugarcoat it. Even the stuff that people don't want us to talk about, we got to talk about that, family. We got to be real. So I just wanted to say that. And now we finna get into, what went on as a result of the conversation, because I'm going to show, the so-called debate that was had. And I'm going to also show you, a couple of other measures as well. And give honors to our family. I'm looking at our family in here, our brother Born Dog. Yes, sir, all is well, good brother. Yes, sir, our good brother Born Dog. Honors to you, brother. We see you in the chat. Yeah, brother. That's what I believe. I think that people are sending certain individuals up in here. You know what I mean? Now that they see that the people getting the information, that's what I think it is. But that ain't gonna stop us, family. Yes, sir. We're gonna keep bringing it. Yeah. Well, we met each other actually in Baltimore. That the day when he was speaking in there. Remember last night I played my portion when I was speaking. I was sitting right there behind him on the panel, and our brother Rogers Bay brought him there, and so we let the brother get the floor and speak his speech. But he wasn't talking all radical at the time. He was talking like he was about some unity. But then he get on there the next day on his channel and start slandering our flag, slandering us. And I was called by the brother that invited him to speak. Like, man, this brother going off. I can't believe this. He like, man, I'm going to cut this dude off, man. Like, that's crazy, man. We just had a thing on unity, and now he attacking us. And so that's when I tried to call him, and y'all see he hung up on me. This is the next day after he had spoke on our platform. That's snakeism. So anyway, it been on ever since then. Yes, sir. Most definitely. And a lot of those who want to get the truth, it ain't gonna stop them either. We just putting this out here so we can lay that foolishness to bed and let the people see what really happened in this conversation. And here it is right here. This is some of it, but I'm also, because remember, our discussion was on who is following the prophet. This man was criticizing us for establishing the Moorish American government, but he done went and established what he called the noble temples. And I brought that up in our discussion. So if you and then he lied and said he wasn't part of no noble temples. Then he went against his own leadership. But yet, I mean, he got the hand of every grand body against him right now. Because he turned coat on everybody. But he following Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You see? Come on, man. Watch this. Let me get this demonstration going. Islam, Moorish America. I want to rise and give all praises to the great God Allah, our Father God Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, of Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal, Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution, and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are a living manifestation and personification of everything that our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, brought to make us a nation. Islam, Moorish kin. It's been a minute, but I'm coming forth before you once again with another measure. And this measure is to set out a grand degree of clarity in regards to dealing with the recent events that have unfolded in social media in relation to dealing with the Moorish American government and various different claims that have been brought forth, even those who have claimed to be an authority, in this special new era in time. And we know that there's only one authority when it comes to the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and that authority comes through Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself. So when you get into that special aspect there, you will see where we're going. So as you can see, our subject title on this agenda is Agent Trojan Horse and Operation Noble Temple. Again, it is Agent Trojan Horse and Operation Noble Temple. Why did we title this special measure as such? As you can see here, you see Agent Trojan Horse right here. You see Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the manifest right here, right? But who is the founder of these so-called noble temples, which one says doesn't exist? We're going to point that out in a minute because we want to bring clarity. We ain't here to just demonstrate a whole bunch of slander and so forth and so on. We here to bring you the truth, because everybody say they following the prophet, but everybody want to do their own thing. You see? So let us come here. I want to start with this special measure. And these are words from his mouth. We got a little time to run a bit, but we ain't going to go too far into it. You can look into it yourself. The title is actually here, and let me remove that as well.
I don't believe in such a thing as the prophet's grand body. Prophet's grand body. The prophet's grand body.
He say, wait a minute. He don't believe in what? He don't believe in anything such as the prophet's grand body. So if you don't believe in the prophet's grand body, then you don't believe in the prophet's divine constitution and bylaws. How can you be following Noble Drew Ali? I pointed this out last night in the discussion at hand. But many of our judges that were on the manifest, I don't blame them for not being knowledgeable because it wasn't their responsibility to be knowledgeable within the realms of Moorish science. Although in the end of the discussion, there were many who sat by and they reached out to me and they were saying, brother, you definitely demonstrated Mag as being legit hands down. And he also knew that. And that's why he was upset, even though he received what would have been called a win. And that too, we would see was basically a measure that he received due to a lack of knowledge of the people. And that's why he was upset. He know as well as I do that they didn't even know what the discussion was. So it wasn't about a winning or a losing. I was trying to extend the olive branch to the brother, but he had so much hatred in him. Well, you seen the video and you seen how it went down, then you know how it went. We ain't gonna tarry long, but listen, this is what he goes on to state after he made that statement. He don't believe in any such thing as the prophet's grand body, right? But he followed the prophet.
For one to be the prophet's grand body, they would have to first imitate the structure of the grand body as laid out by the prophet. Then they will have to show that there's an unbroken succession of the prophet's grand body, as well as all minutes from 1928 to 2019. And the minutes I speak of it would be convention minutes of every year to verify that you are the original Moorish Science Temple of America. You have to display charters with the prophet's signature on it.
Now, let me stop right here. Here, you see this brother telling those who are in the temple that they are not the original temple. This is something that you've been hearing me saying to different Moors throughout the years, and you would often hear me say, you know, the prophet had actually 15 temples that stood strong. And then you would hear me ask them, I asked Sadiel and a whole bunch of them that were placing themselves up as an authority. I said, show me your charter with the prophet's signature on it. I say, well, if you don't have that, just show me the address of your temple, whereas I can trace it back to one of the 15 that was mentioned on the letter in 1928 in that first convention. And this is where you have those who flee. And I confronted Tahaka with this same argument 2 years ago, year and a half ago, you know, on his show and everything else. And now he turned around and he used that same argument to separate himself from his leadership and establish his noble temples. And I guess he's saying that he structured this after what the prophet established. You see? So now, let me give you a view as to these noble temples. These noble temples, right? This is Tahaka's page of his noble temples. And we also heard, by the way, that the brother didn't pay his bill. You know, now this is not a lawfully chartered organization. You won't find a noble temple anywhere in Baltimore when you go into the Department of Corporations. And he would tell you it has not been incorporated. So if he was following the footsteps of the prophet and following the prophets, we know the prophet didn't use the term noble temple. As you can see right here, Moorish Science Temple of America styled as the noble temples. You see, because he know he can't use the name Moorish Science Temple of America because there are other corporations that are using that name. So he added noble temples to basically differentiate itself from what was already established, right? But yet he's saying that he's following the prophet. And then he said that, I'm going to let you see it in a minute. Better yet, I'm going to go there right now. I want to go there now because it's right to go there right now. Listen to what he says.
Prophet Noble Ali appointed Emeliel, his grandson, gave me not only a charter, but gave me my credentials, the same one. So I got 3 people in line. I got Emeliel, his grandson. Oh, let me put it the other way around. His grandson, David Belial, who gave me my ADAP credentials.
Listen good.
I got Emeliel, and then it goes to the prophet. 3 people.
3 people, right?
What are you talking about? But now, let me tell you, my temple is not called Noble Temples. As you can see, this is a copy of 3 different charters.
Now, he say his temple not called Noble Temple, right? Now, I just took you to the website, you know, that he has right here. You see Noble Temple right there, right? We're going to go back up here to the top of this website page. Better yet, we ain't even got to go there. You just seen it run across the screen. But there it is again, Noble Temples, right? He say he don't use this term, right? Now, go back here. We want to make sure. I want to walk through this because we don't want anyone to go past this. Now, look here. You see Noble Temples right there. Right after he said he don't call this temple Noble Temple. There it is again, right? Which the Noble Temple is not a lawfully chartered Moorish Science Temple of America. There it go right there in big, bold letter, Noble Temples. So this guy will make a statement and come right behind that statement and cancel it out just as soon as he speak it. You see, only a blind man or a deaf man couldn't see this right here. But listen.
This one on the right side is Belial charter. This one right here is our charter. And this one on the left side is the charter of C. Kirkman Bey.
Okay. He gave you Belial charter, his charter of the Noble Temples. Then he gave you, he said, a Kirkman Bey charter, right? Now, Belial's charter doesn't have Prophet Noble Drew Ali's signature on it. He admitted that in the discussion last night, right? His charter doesn't have the Prophet's signature on it. Okay, so I told the brother, if you trying to do the work in uniting the temples, okay, big ups to you. All is well. Do that work. You know, but what is the problem with you coming after the Moorish American government? You know, because the greatest lie that's being told is that, you know, the Moorish American government and our flag, we saying that's the flag of the Moorish Science Temple. We never teach that. We say this is the flag of the Moorish American government. That must be understood. Also, we don't say that our Constitution is the Constitution of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We say our Constitution is the Constitution of the Moorish American government. There's an unfoldment process that has to do with that. This is what he doesn't comprehend and many more. Now, I want to go back to his noble temples briefly and show you the membership that he has here, right? These are the members of his noble temple. Hold up, let me make sure. I want to make sure I get it up here. He had it up here. Okay. He got that password protected now. He really got only 3 people up there. He got him, you know, the same one. If you was in the meeting that we demonstrated in last night, you know, he has himself, his wife, and there it go right there. That's him and this brother here. These are the only 2 people that's here in his page. But these are the noble temples, right? These are the noble temples, right? And then he has his wife present as well in this noble temple. Again, we're not beating him down for trying to do what he feel like he think he doing right. But why is it that he has a problem with work that other people are doing that are not even paying attention to him? You see, to whereas he has to come out and attack the Grand National Chairman of the Moorish American government. So this makes me say, who sent you? You know, that's the question I ask. And he did this recently too, family. He had here where you could actually see, you know, all of those who were involved. Now he took that off so you couldn't see the 3 people that's there. But it ain't but 3 people in this so-called noble temple, which is really non-existent. You know, it ain't even a corporation. It's not even lawfully chartered. So if you have a charter, then who granted that charter to you? Because it didn't come from, you know, Baltimore, because I searched it in the search engine of the Department of Corporations. You see? So here's one that has created an organization in his own mind. He say he the founder now, but he say he following Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Oh, and also he is the Grand Sheikh and the chairman. You see, he ain't just the Grand Sheikh, he the Grand Sheikh and the chairman. What in the world? When have you ever known, you know, any leader appointed by the Prophet himself to be a Grand Sheikh and the chairman at the same time? Now, we ain't talking about unfolding through different time periods. Right there, you know, so he gonna just be the whole act 1. Grand Sheik and the chairman power to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body of Moorish America. So if he don't believe in the grand body, then who is it that's putting him in check? How can you even have a structure without a grand body? But he following the prophet though, right?
And there's other charters out there. In fact, in the video, I'm saying that the temple has been destroyed and now we must rebuild it. And so it brings us to this conversation again. Who is following the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali? It must be rebuilt because we got swindlers like this guy and his squad trying to act like that they need to build a government.
Y'all see it again right there, noble temples, right?
But let me tell you what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says. This is an article from Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
I want to make this plain because I think this might have went over somebody's head right here a little bit.
This guy, C. Kirkman Bey, this is the same guy that usurped. You talk about Pleasant Bay, the same one. So I got three people in line. I got Emilio, his grandson. Oh, let me put it the other way around. His grandson, David Belial, who gave me my ADAP credentials. I got Emilio, and then it goes to the prophet.
Notice he says just three people, right?
What are you talking about?
Three people,
but
right?
Now, let me tell you, my temple is not called Noble Temple.
What? He say his temple is not called Noble Temples. Now, you just seen me show it to you a whole bunch of times, right? We're going to go into that a little bit more, but let's talk about his leadership real quick. Now, here's a history that's put out here briefly on the brother Mila. I just want to touch on this one portion. We know that the prophet appointed him as supreme grand sheik and so forth and so on, but Mila himself spoke of the prophet's grand body in a lot of his letters. So for him to say he come through the line of Mila and then say he don't believe in the prophet's grand body, it's Morris confused. He's crazy. That Asperger's syndrome is really getting to this one. You know? So listen, check this out. By then, Mila only retained leadership over Temple No. 1 in Chicago, but possessed Drew Ali's original documents. Several years later, after the leadership feud, Mila suffered a stroke and was set to live with his family in Mississippi by his wife, Dalia, I think that's how you say it. It said, who was unable to care for him, and he died in 1935. This is a year after Kirkman Bey usurped the movement, while on a business trip, no longer living in Chicago due to infighting. Now watch this. Following his death, Dalia, Millie, notice her name is Millie, right? So she had to receive her last name from the brother Emilio, right? It say inherited Noble Drew Ali's papers and used them to place William Morris L., who she was rumored to have started a relationship with after her husband's death, in the position of Supreme Grand Sheik. Oh my goodness. Now here's a sister that was married to the brother Mila. You know, I don't know anything or heard anything about this sister being a Supreme Grand Sheikess, but from here it's saying she gave these credentials to her husband that she married after the death or started a relationship with after the death of brother Mila, after she took him to Mississippi. And then she gave him the position of Supreme Grand Sheik. So Tahaka, this right here, he say he only had 3 people that takes him back to the prophet. Now, William Morris L. came before Bailey L. So it would have to go from Bailey L., or does it start there? And then go to William Morris L., then go to Mila L., or actually it would have to put the sister in there, since she a Sheikess, because even though she may have had those papers or credentials, she doesn't have the power to make Morris L, a sheik, the supreme grand sheik at that, she could give that information to one and so forth and so on, and they learn and they grow from it, but when he talk about, the line of succession, we can already see something is off here. So it say over time, his leadership, meaning William Morris L, was rejected by many of the members of Temple Number One. Now, if Mealy L was the one that retained the leadership over Temple Number One, and this was rejected by those who were actually followers of Mealy L, because in other words, they didn't like what the sister had done. And if they were still on the manifest, then why would she give them the paperwork? And then in response, some of them turned, and you can know these wasn't with Kirkman Bay, because it said in response, some of them turned over Noble Drew Ali's documents over to Kirkman Bay, thus strengthening his legitimacy as Noble Drew Ali's successor. So if she gave that credential to him, and then those who were actually following the brother Mealy L in Temple Number One got upset, and in response, they turned the paperwork over to Kirkman Bay, this says a lot. Now, it is said that brother Mealy L, may peace and blessings be upon him, lost favor, because there were Moors who pointed out certain vices they say the brother had. I'm not one to pass hearsay, on and so forth and so on, but they say this is why they turned against him. But that don't make sense, because Kirkman Bay himself had the same type of vices. And as a matter of fact, when he passed form dealing with those same type of vices in a bar fight, according to the records. You see? So something just ain't right with that aspect. But the thing is, let us stop acting like anybody has the authority, including our brother Bailey L, who wasn't even born yet. And I'm going to prove this to you. Now, this ain't even the full open record right here, but this is the actual record dealing with the line that goes back. This is the sister Delia Mealy L, which is the wife of brother Emily L, right? She was a mother-in-law. So if she was the mother-in-law, then this means somebody wasn't actually of the direct bloodline of her. A mother-in-law often comes when one marries the daughter, you see, of one. And so this sister Bailey L here, Rosa Bailey L, she was married to Edward Bailey L. Now, I don't know if this brother Harry B. Bay is in this line that I'm going to show you, but I seen something in this line of succession. He says it's only 3 people, Bailey L, Mealy L, and then the prophet. We already crossed that out because we see the sister Delia there, and we see her appointing William Morris L as the sheik. You see? Now, here in this family lineage, we see a lodger. This is just like somebody staying there, not meaning that they actually related or whatever the case may be, but they there. So now, here's a daughter here. And this is Gertrude Bailey L, right? Coming from Edward Bailey L and Rosa Bailey L, right? And then you have the son, Edward Bailey L Jr. So I guess this would be our brother, Bailey L. Now, how did Bailey L become related to Mealy L? Because surely if he came through the line of Mealy L directly, then he should bear the same name, right? If that was his real grandfather. Now, if the sister or the brother descended, from the sister here, because this would be the parents of Bailey L, Edward Bailey L, Rosa Bailey L, right? So if he descended from these two, and they come forth from the line, one of them through Mealy L, then you would think that they would carry the same name of the father. You see, sometimes people keep different names, and and it don't change or whatever the case may be. But we know Melia's name was Melia, and he gave the name Melia to us. So I don't know, was she a Belial? I have no knowledge of that right now. But what I'm seeing here is this mother-in-law up here. It's kind of fishy there. But that's a whole nother measure. You know, how does a Belial come through the line of Meliel? Maybe they can bring some clarity on that. You see, now I want to say that this larger Harry B. Bay, you know, may be the one that's mentioned in this line of succession here. Right? Now, notice right here, this is Supreme Grand Sheiks of Moorish Science Temple of America, according to the successionist line coming through Meliel. October 1928, November 1934 is what they give here, right? They saying that Meliel lineage stopped here. So if Meliel didn't appoint Belial, and Belial was born, I think it's saying 1939, then how could he make you an adept, even if he was the grandson, to come through that line? Just because he born through the line of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, that automatically make him a grand sheik? That automatically gives him the credentials? Come on now. Goodness gracious. It was people that the prophet had appointed, and they all went the other way. Some of them we see that tried to stand, but when she gave the measure to somebody else, then they gave everything to Kirkman Bay then. So it was a lot of infighting, but he said it was three people between Meliel, Belial, and him. So he think he the third in line, right? He think he the third generation. But we see here William Morris L., 1934. These credentials, remember, they were given by his wife, according to that reading, October 1935, right? Meliel had passed for him, so Meliel wasn't the one that gave it to him. And Meliel wasn't even dealing with those type of appointments and structures at that time. So if his wife did that and he was against that, and she took him, way back to Mississippi and got in a relation with one and did contrary to that, goodness gracious. But anyway, you had Morris L., you had Walton Bay to come forth, you had this brother W. Harlan Bay, and that's the one that I was saying that may be this brother, Harry Bay. But that's just my assumption. I can't prove that. I'm just thinking such. But anyway, this particular one right here, this is a nothing in the line. It's another brother here, Lewis L., right? This is another brother, Bailey L. coming in here, right? So Bailey L. come in here, and then later he gets cast out, because it say that they were expelled from the office of Supreme Grand Sheik. And a lot of people saying that, our brother Bailey L. was expelled due to lewdness and so forth and so on. They say they found pornographic magazines, and this is why ones took justification to go and try to strip him of the prophet's paperwork and credentials. You see? This is a bunch of stuff going on. So as Tahaka is trying to make it seem like his lineage is so squeaky clean and he came as the third man on the manifest, we see 1, 2, we got to mention the sister, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then he would actually be one that received, he wouldn't even be the 8th, because it's actually brothers that was there before he came on the manifest. But he trying to claim himself as being third in line. So we can see that ain't true just by this special measure, right? I'm gonna go back over here because I want y'all to hear this. Listen to what he said.
You will have to display original Qurans,
original question is, in everything that has been handed down by the prophet, from the original temple number 1.
Oh, you seen him mention the original temple number 1. Now, the original temple 1 are the ones who gave the paperwork to Kirkman Bey. The ones that was left over, because Kirkman Bey was the one that earned the favor. But at the same token, they was more upset that she had appointed William Morris L., without a grand body, without anybody convening. I never seen that done before. The prophet, the only one that could do that. But she did it, and that upset them. They say, well, we're going to give it all to Kirkman Bey then.
Original appointment letters, original officials, bank statements wouldn't hurt, but all the things necessary to show that your secession is legitimate and qualified, by which you can produce.
Can he produce that his succession is legitimate and qualified? We just showed you that he can't. We just disproved everything that he said, and then showed you that he lied and say he didn't refer to himself as noble temples. So that's why we're dealing with this measure when we talk about Agent Trojan horse, because that's what we refer to him as, and you're going to find out why we call him that. I believe that's what them people, them alphabet boys, know him as. And he proclaimed it last night in the meeting. That's a mean proclamation to call yourself, bringing forth a Trojan horse degree. Agent Trojan horse. Don't that sound like something that deal with FBI, CIA, Agent 007? And, they always have a name like that. Operation Noble Temple. That's the operation. That's the apparatus that he's operating from. Can't you see him moving to and fro in the land? He didn't come forth and say anything about the chairman until he seen the government, MAG, being offered a platform to demonstrate our love to the people. And then he came out of nowhere. He did the same thing with Malik Shabazz in the new Black Panther Party. He did the same thing with the NFAC, I think that's what they call themselves, and the different groups that was opposing parties. He get on one side and then speak against the other. He demonstrated with Malik Shabazz, then he got Crystal Muhammad and started agreeing with her against Malik Shabazz. And it's other times that this brother demonstrated the same behavior. He tried to go through different grand bodies, and he's been in opposition to all of them, and now he's broken away and calling himself the Noble Temples. He wants to be the head. You see right here, what does he refer to himself as? Want to make it plain. The founder, T. Johnson Bey, Tahaka Bey. Founder of what? The Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Temples. You see? He know what he doing. He trying to play on words right here. So we going to make it plain to you. We going to put it out there. So I want to go into something else too. We're going to get to that in a second. Because y'all got to get the truth and nothing but the truth. Y'all got to get the truth and nothing but the truth, family. If we don't bring the truth to you, then we'll be remiss in our duties. The truth hurts sometimes. To those in the Moorish American government, this is your opportunity to see how you defend your prophet. We don't come from a level of hatred when we up here teaching. Even last night, I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry. I just showed a bit of animation to let him know that I can swing my scimitar too. You see? We just didn't come forth, as he liked to say, with that Billy D. sicky smooth voice, as he liked to claim it to be.
As you can see, this is a copy of three different charters. This one on the right side is Bailey Hill Charter. This one right here is our charter. And this one on the left side is the charter of C. Kirkman Bay Group. And there's other charters out there. In fact, in the video, I'm saying that the temple has been destroyed and now we must rebuild it. And so it brings us to this conversation again. Who is following the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali? It must be rebuilt because we got swindlers like this guy and his squad trying to act like that they need to build a government. But let me tell you what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says. This is an article from Prophet Noble Drew Ali. In the idea.
Now he say this is an article from Prophet Noble Drew Ali. But when we quote the hadiths that were brought from those who were right there with Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he called that hearsay. Pay attention now.
And calculated and purpose of the Moorish Science Temple of America is to have everything that belongs to us as a nation that has become a part of another nation. In fact, Prophet Noble Drew Ali understands, because he's a prophet, that we are in a situation that we must operate within this nation, just like every other nation do, in order for us to get up out of this situation.
He say we in a situation we got to operate in this nation in order to get out of the situation. Now, you know, we at MAD teach that Prophet Noble Drew Ali established his Moorish divine and national movement for the purpose of uniting the Asiatic states. We know that he established his lawfully chartered organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America. He set it up as a table in the presence of our enemies. That was during the age of preparation. But now that we are unfolded into the age of fruition and fulfillment, meaning unfolding from the general laws of just an organization into the supreme laws of a government, now that we're doing this, we're not here to tarry any longer in the situations and under the conditions of slavery because we feel we need to work our way out of slavery. We got to work within the system and bear more slavery, tarry longer. We in MAG are successionists. And I mentioned this last night. We have succeeded from slavery. We know why the prophet set his movement up, because he knew that he could use religious freedom in that amendment to basically begin to wake our people up. But what Tahaki and many more of our Moorish kin fail to comprehend, because they love them stars and stripes so much. They love Old Glory so much. They fail to comprehend that if the prophet said he was going to lead a European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government, he didn't intend for them to stay oppressed and subject to somebody else's government. That's the same reason he said, Moors, by you being born here, don't make you citizens. When he was calling on help from the citizens of the United States and so forth and so on, he was calling on help from them even under his organization, but saying he's trying to get his people to accept their own flag, their free national standards, their government. Tahaki admits the prophet established a government, but what he is wrong is that he said it was established in an organization. And I keep pointing it out to him, if that's the case, then Prince Hall Masonry is a government. If that's the case, then the Shriners, they're a government. If that's the case, then AME and every other church that got a charter under Hers Revised Statutes and Religious Corporation Acts, then they governments too. Are you foolish enough to believe that the United States will give you the power to set up a government through an organization? Come on, man. The prophet was the only one wise enough to set up what we would call the blueprint, the structure. But he wasn't meaning for you to stay under the confines of the United States and unfold the structure under the United States. If you saying you a citizen of the United States of America and you accepting that lot, stop lying and saying that you're a government. You say you're a citizen of the United States. You're not a government if that's the case. You can't be a citizen of the U.S. and then be a part of a Moorish government at the same time, unless you got dual citizenship. And we know you ain't got that type of status or credential. And we know them type of credentials and status don't exist. Why would the European denationalize you, take your one free national name, make you NBC, Negro, Black, and Colored, and then give you power through an organization under a state charter to become a nation? You saying that they granted you freedom. And if they granted you freedom, then they can take it from you. Just like they're doing under the federal charter with the Native Americans. They infringing upon them as we speak. Prophet Noble Drew Ali did exactly what he was supposed to do with the temple. But y'all so busy holding on to the temple in the form that it is to where you can't unfold into the divine and national movement. Because you're trying to place the whole other movement up under the confines of the U.S. and you love it. So all of the enslavement, the suffering, and oppression that you get, Agent Trojan Horse, you deserve it. Let me keep going.
Every nation on the face of the earth is birthed out of another nation, but there's a strategic plan in order to get the people up out of the oppression that they find themselves with. He thinks that plan is to put a government on a piece of paper. Nah. It comes from industrious acts. As Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, just same as other European.
Let me ask this question. What's more industrious in our acts than separating ourselves from a government that oppresses us? What's more industrious in our acts than demonstrating self-determination? What's more industrious than having your own flag, seal, and emblem and stop being a beggar people, thinking that you can vote your way out of slavery? What's more industrious than that?
Groups are demanding. In other words, we have to work within this demonstration, and whether people agree with it or not, this is what happens in history. When the people are oppressed within an administration, they find their way up out of the administration in ways that is sometimes inconspicuous.
Did you hear that? He's still trying to find his way out of it, but he gonna deal with it right now. He choosing to deal with it. So when he see us getting away from it, he got a problem with that. Because he want to stay. If you want to lay down in slavery, Agent Trojan Horse, then lay there. But we ain't staying there with you. We came out of that coffin of assumable jurisdiction a long time ago. And you upset.
So we asked, who is following the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? I represent the Moorish Science Temple of America. That letterhead up there is the letterhead that I use. There is no letterhead that I use called Noble Temple.
Did you hear this liar? And I'm calling him a liar because that's what he is. Not because I'm attacking him. Watch this. He said there is no letterhead that he have that's called Noble Temples, right? Let's see this right here. Let's see. We already went to the website. We showed you this already. This is a letterhead right here. Noble Temple, right? Check him out. Moorish Science Temple of America. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Noble Temples. Syracuse, New York. Noble Temple. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Okay, he don't use that in the letterhead, right? This guy's a compulsive liar. And he lied right behind. He lied with the evidence on the manifest. That's the crazy part about it. Look, Noble Temple. This is another letterhead, right? Here's another one. Noble Temple. Moorish Science Temple of Noble Temple. And I'm telling you, he's doing that because if he don't do that, then he know he can be sued when he really get it up off the ground. Look, join Noble Temples, 2020 vision. Come on now. Am I seeing something? Is there something wrong with my eyes? Check him out now.
It comes from industrious acts, as Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, just same as other European groups are demanding. In other words, we have to work within this demonstration, and whether people agree with it or not, this is what happens in history. When a people are oppressed within an administration, they find their way up out of the administration in ways that is sometimes inconspicuous. So we ask, who is following the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali?
Who following?
I represent the
You represent what?
Temple of America. That letterhead up there is the letterhead that I use.
What letterhead?
There is no letterhead that I use called Noble Temple.
There is no letterhead. What? There is no letterhead called Noble Temple. All right.
Noble Temples is a euphemism. It's a nickname, kind of.
Oh, now
separated from all the madness that's out there.
Okay, okay. It's a nickname. It's a euphemism. Oh, to separate itself from the madness. But isn't he creating madness? Isn't he demonstrating mad human drama every day?
Noble Drew Ali, ask yourself a question. If Prophet Noble Drew Ali was here today, would he be a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America that he created, or would he be a part of the Moorish American government? Think about that for a minute.
I can tell you that right there, the answer to that question right here. If Prophet Noble Drew Ali say he was going to lead a European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government, then if Prophet Noble Drew Ali was here, he'll be running a government. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said he was going to take his good Moors up in an apparatus, and an apparatus is a government, then that means Noble Drew Ali from the soul plane has established a government. And it's MAG. Hate it or love it.
Every Friday, you know what I do every Friday? I do what Prophet Noble Drew Ali says in his laws. I have holy day meetings where the most prophetic laws that he has is the divine constitution and bylaws, okay? The divine constitution and bylaws. Now, what they did, these guys over there with Moorish American government, with Pleasant Bay, Swift Angel, Slick Angel, they took the divine constitution and bylaws and changed it. They call it the divine constitution of Moorish America. But notice this one on the left-hand side, it's the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the divine constitution and bylaws. Let me tell you something. Prophet Noble Drew Ali also changed it. But guess what? He only changed the design. Right here is the original Holy Temple of Science, divine constitution and laws. That's what it was in 1925. Let me tell you something.
Let me show you what this guy is beefing with MAG over. He's beefing with MAG being citizens instead of members. He's beefing with MAG and being a government rather than a temple or a mere organization. This is hatred that he has for MAG now. Let me show you how much hypocrisy this is. Now, he done broke off and started his own demonstration, Noble Temples, right? He claimed to have a line of succession from the prophet. We just debunked that, right? But then when you come down to dealing with these different people he deal with, if you look at him on the platform, he can agree with NBCs, preachers and pastors and everything else. Sit down, talk with them, have a good time, brothers, such and such, no disrespect. But then when it come down to the Moorish American government, oh, the hatred, the hatred, the hatred. Don't even know nobody in it outside of us allowing him to get on our rostrum and speak in Baltimore. We press hands, and the next day he was on social media basically slandering the government. I said I didn't agree with y'all. Then he hung up on me and all that type of foolery right there. This is agent provocateur activity. This is all a part of the making. So all the while we know, looking at it, who sent you? Because you looking way more than familiar. Agent Trojan horse.
He changed it, and the organization grew. They came into the Holy Temple of Science, Divine Constitution and Bylaws, and when they ended up, it became the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. Now, one thing I want you to pay attention to, both of y'all, I mean, you and your leader, y'all supposed to be God-fearing men. Do you know what divine means? Something divine means that it's futuristic, it's before its time, and it's from God, the universe itself. So this is the divine constitution and bylaws. So the question would be, what gives you the ability to change the constitution, the divine constitution and bylaws? Here is what you say.
Didn't he just say it was futuristic and before its time? He don't even understand what he's saying.
The Grand Chief and the Chairman of Moorish America are empowered to make laws and enforce laws. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali document says the Grand Chief and Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make laws and enforce laws. What gives you the authority to change something divine? That's a question that you must ask yourself. Now, what do I read every Friday and every Sunday? I read what Prophet Noble Drew Ali put together because he's the prophet, not Pleasant Bay. He's the prophet, and his prophecy is more prophetic than Pleasant Bay could ever be. Now, when you go down to his Act 4, he says no organization of Moorish America. In Act 4 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaw, tell me if
I want to get to this part. Prayer. This is what I want to get to.
That's an affirmation prayer that all Moorish Americans that say they follow Prophet Noble Drew Ali say. But Swift Angel, Slick Angel, he changes it up.
And he talking about Allah, Father of the universe, Allah, Father, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through Noble Drew Ali. He's saying that we don't demonstrate that prayer. What this, I ain't gonna even, what this ignoramus don't understand, Moorish kin, is that we always demonstrate the prayer as the prophet demonstrated it. The chairman gave us the adept Moorish American prayer. And he said, well, what's the difference in it? It's just saying, oh, Father of the universe. No, the difference in it, it goes in the comedian aspect of it. And if he don't know anything about an adept master, adept teacher, an adept teacher has his own adept lessons that he can bring forth, irregardless to the chambers that he came through. He is given the authority and the power through his divinity to bring forth whatever it is he brings forth. And I'm the adept that transliterated the prayer in the ancient Comedian language. Ya Allah abnu heru makunetiru, Ya Allah abhet heru, Ya Allah ma'at heru, Ya Allah hotep heru, Ya Allah heru, Ya Allah ma'at herakuti, Ya Allah ahwajet juti, Ya Allah per im sutek per im heru, Ya Allah bamaduti, El hejet shepsis reab to Ali. Alias, alias, alias. And when it's translated, it's O Allah, the Father of the universe, O Allah, the Father of love, O Allah, the Spirit of truth, O Allah, the Spirit of peace, O Allah, the Spirit of freedom, O Allah, the Spirit of justice, O Allah, you are my protector, O Allah, you are my guide, O Allah, you are my salvation by night and by day, O Allah, through your holy prophet, O Allah, Drew Ali. Holy Issa, Holy Issa, Holy Issa. See, this is basically evident that this one has no knowledge beyond the manifest. We can tell that just by his approach on what he talk about, ones being able to draw from, sources of divinity and talking about, how you gonna say that he got it from a dream and all this type of foolery. Everyone under the sun that's an adept know that adepts meditate. This prayer in the adept form is a mantra to open up the hearts and minds of our people. The 7 seals. Oh, he wouldn't know that, right? That's over his face. His tassel swinging around right now.
Calls this the adept Moorish American prayer. Look how he changed it. Oh Allah, the Father of the universe. Oh Allah, the Father of love. And then he slips a little bit and said, oh Allah, the Spirit of truth. Notice Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a prophet from God now. He said, Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. He throws in there the spirit of truth. Oh Allah, the spirit of peace. Oh Allah, the spirit of freedom. Oh Allah. And then he goes all the way down. Oh Allah, through your holy prophet. Oh Allah, through Ali, amen. Holy Isa, holy Isa, holy Isa. Who gives you the authority to change a divine prophet doctrine?
You see this clown? He can't even comprehend the truth when it's right there before. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you something. I want to go to the exhuming of a nation. This is the exhuming of a nation right here. You see this? This is page 429. The chairman was dealing with a comparison between the Al-Fatiha, the 7 degrees of Al-Fatiha and the Moorish American prayer. And he gave an adept breakdown, you see? And then he went into showing you, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, praise be to Allah, cherish and sustain of the worlds. Most gracious, most merciful, master the day of judgment. Thee alone, thee do we worship, thine aid we seek, show us the straight way. The way of those on whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, those whose portion is not wrath and who go not astray. Amen. Right? Then he showed you Allah, right? In the name of Allah. He's showing you the comparison. Father of the universe, cherish and sustain of the world. Father, love, true peace, freedom, and justice, most gracious, most merciful. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, master of the judgment, day of judgment, by night and by day, right? Thee do we worship. Thine aid do we seek. Show us the straight way through his holy prophet. Where it say, thou hast bestowed thy grace, and those whose portion is not at wrath, and those who go not astray. Amen. Drew Ali, amen. So here's the Moorish American prayer in its regular form here. And not only that right there, the ignorance is real, because if you go even here, let me pull it up. This is the Constitution, divine Constitution, same one he was quoting from a few minutes ago, the Moorish American government. And the prayer is right there in the original form that the prophet put it right there. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, true peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. And then he actually go through it and quote this same document with the prayer there and claim that we don't have that prayer as the prophet brought it. You see this ignorance.
I say what Prophet Noble Drew Ali says. Remember, we're asking who follows the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Now, when you're talking about signatures of charter, there's no one on the planet Earth that have a signature with a charter from Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
So he admitting that he don't have a signature from the charter. So that signature with the prophet signature on his charter. So this automatically disqualify him as claiming that he's following in the footsteps of the prophet. Because the line of succession was broken a long time ago. It was broken before the prophet left the body. The movement was hijacked. And the chairman addressed this years before Tahaka even came forth. He should be saying, Grand man, I see what you were talking about. You was right. But no, he got another agenda in mind, because this is Agent Trojan horse. And his operation is the Noble Temple.
So what we endeavor to do, like anybody with good common sense would do, they were patterning themselves out of the model that was successful. And the model that was successful is what Prophet Noble Drew Ali demonstrated. You and your leader, they want to change from what the prophet demonstrated. But now look how fugazi it gets, the ADAP Moorish American prayer. But look at the membership Moorish American prayer. This is the Commission ADAP Moorish American prayer.
And he talking about membership. We don't have members over here. And if you look at this document, family, let me see, can I blow it up?
They didn't even change nothing.
He said nothing was changed, right? This is the ADAP prayer. The other prayer is the prayer that the prophet gave to us. And in this prayer, you see what I quoted to Ya Allah Abnu Heru Makunetu is totally different from that special aspect as far as dealing with the word and the language that's being used. But see, this is disingenuous because he ain't gonna show you that because he don't even comprehend what he was reading anyway. Remember, I'm the one that transliterated it. I'm the one put it in the form that he looking at right there. The chairman is the one who brought the oral law, you know, in the adept prayer, and then I transliterated into Comedian language. Man, these people crazy.
Oh Allah, the Father of the universe. Oh Allah. So what is the adapt? What is the difference between the adapt and the commission adapt Moorish American prayer? Let me tell you something. It's the same exact thing with a different name. What is the point? The adapt, let me explain to y'all. An adapt is supposed to be one who is highly advanced in the science of Moorish science. So you tell me that the adapt Moorish American prayer and the commission adapt Moorish American prayer, they're one and the same. Okay, let's accept that. But one thing they're not one and the same.
Now he want to accept that.
The prophet wrote. It's been changed. Now, secondly, you've been around since the 70s with old slick angel here. You've been around here since the 70s, and the best you can come up with your government is a phone call to call in from. That's what your government is. It's a call in.
Yet the best he can come up with his little noble temper is 3 members. Or better yet, just the 2 that he got up here. You know, that's all he got going on. This is leadership. You know, and like I said, it ain't a tit for tat going back and forth. This ain't the issue. We got to expose these clowns. Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Muhammad ibn Abdullah of Saudi Arabia, before he was able to go into Mecca and really bring the truth to his people, he had to destroy 360 idol gods. So what I'm doing right now is I'm destroying the idol gods that's in the way of the freedom and salvation of our people. If you want to know what's being demonstrated, these aged Trojan horses, you know, all of these ones that's up here that have proclaimed a prophet, and I'm going to give it to you like this right here, and you mark my word. He acting like he a champion for Moorish America, but just give him a little time and watch what he does. He gonna flip the script, just like Lord Blabber, Shakeway Hale did, and he gonna end up going into something else. He's weak as creek water. He has nothing to stand on, and he has lost confidence in Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And mark my words, you'll see him for who he truly is. You'll know from whence come he. You won't have to ask him where you're going, Satan, because you already know what the measure is.
You for real? Where is your embassy? You know what I'm saying? Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Let's look on the bottom of his doctrine now. It's going astray.
I want to get to the end right here because I want to wrap this up. I want to show you the end of this particular measure, you know, and the judges, again, you can't blame them per se. I told them before we started in the meeting, you know, that I knew what was going on, but I still went forth because I wanted to get this behind us. You see, but I want you to hear this very carefully. Listen to this.
Supposed to handle the purse, the money. We're supposed to handle the land government like countless other, the operative word, other American citizens, which means we are American citizens. Know that we must live together. We must live together here in America in harmony, friendship, and goodwill, whatever our race may be. Moorish America, whatever our race or creed may be.
But he ain't living harmonious, though, with the Moorish American government, though. See the hypocrisy?
It is only from a purely religious standpoint at this time that we differ than a large number of our fellow Americans. You see what I'm talking about? You know nothing about the divine Trojan horse.
There it go. You seen him call himself out? He letting you know who he is. He telling you the name that they gave him. That's his code name, family Trojan horse.
I mean, you've been duped. You've been played by a usurper. We believe in and we follow.
He letting you know he's the usurper. Listen to him.
The Muslim religion. We believe in the principle of his teaching that so far it can be adopted into what life? Say it with me now. American life. We're talking about it.
He want to adopt you into American life. Prophet Noble Drew Ali say, Moors, if you ain't careful, some of your own brothers will put you back in slavery.
Divine Trojan horse you know nothing about.
You see, he proud of the status that Rome has given him as the divine Trojan horse. That's a code name, family. Now y'all gonna see this unfold. Mark my words, I'm telling you this. This one ain't who he claimed he is.
We feel that the Christian religion is all right for those who prefer it. In America, the religious freedom is guaranteed all under the Constitution. Notice, I'm asking who follow the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I teach this every week. I live this every day. My family live this every day. Let me see. Under what Constitution? What is it guaranteed? In America, religious freedom is guaranteed all under the Constitution. When we are interested in Prophet Noble Drew Ali, talk to him. Since he said Prophet Noble Drew Ali here, I second that notion. We are interested in freeing ourselves and our children from our greatest plight, economic slavery. Why? Because if you get that bread, you know what Claude Anderson say about them politicians. We are interested in freeing ourselves and our children from our greatest plight.
If he love his family so much, ask him why he get drunk and beat on his wife. Because we know about that too. You know, how you gonna beat on the Moabites, get on the alcohol, and then say you love your family?
Shoveling paperwork. Talking about we got a phone call to talk about our government. No, economic slavery. We believe this can be best encouraged by encouraging, patronizing, and establishing our own business enterprises, not just a business, not just selling socks, not just selling t-shirts, business enterprises, and cultivating our own acres of land. Shout out to my wife for looking for them acres of land for the Moorish Science Temple of America. We welcome into our folds men and women of our group of all sections,
1 minute, family,
all trades, occupations, and professions of sound mind and good character. You clearly don't have sound mind because you have gotten off the path that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali laid.
You hear that? Sound mind.
Clearly don't have sound mind. You clearly don't, but it's okay. You know what I mean? Go on with your little Moorish government, but know for sure you claim that this guy hijacked, infiltrated the Moorish Science Temple of America, but you walking around with the same thing he got on his head and you calling it ADAP. You sound crazy.
And this foolish one just admitted, even in this discussion, that they wore this during the time of the prophet. There's pictures out there that show you before Kirkman Bay was ever mentioned. Only thing Kirkman Bay did was turn that symbol blue. And he did it for the same reason that this special one put noble temples on the end of his organization. For copyright infringement. So miss me with that foolery, you know. And also it's a lot of people that he draw with that demonstrate with that same adept jewel. And mind you, Kirkman Bay wasn't made an adept until after the prophet left the body by those who had brought him in their circle. Allegedly, they say he was made an adept by those, but Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't make him an adept. Prophet Noble Drew Ali made the Prince of Peace an adept, though. He made Cook Bay an adept, though. He made his wife Pearl Drew Ali an adept, though. The same ones that you out here fat mouthing about.
Time, y'all.
All right, man. Boy, I feel sorry for the judges tonight. These guys.
Now this is where he lost. Because anytime you forfeit, you know, in the measure that's being given, that determines, you know, you basically lost. But the thing is, you're going to see that the judges, they was, you know, way off topic. You know, this was the original topic right here. And this how you can tell that one got a lot of hatred for myself. He went all the way out his way to create this flyer here. You see, he put every picture up there with me standing behind him. He don't know he got the triune law on his head. That's what he really put there. He don't even know it. But this was the topic. Who follows Prophet Noble Drew Ali? It didn't have nothing to do with debating about the Circle 7. You know, so the judges kind of dropped the ball with that. And the brother Jeremiah Judah pointed it out. But this is where he really dropped the ball at. Listen to this. Watch this.
Some information. You hear me? You You know, a lot of this stuff, I mean, that y'all bringing out, a lot of us had never heard, so we really appreciate this. Now, this is part of the debate that can determine winner and loser. Okay, who want to go first? You get 6 minutes to put each other on the hot seat, then we go on to the judge. Who want to go first? All right. So Kamisha said he wants to go first. Hey, timekeeper, give him 6 minutes. And he got 6 minutes to ask his brother some questions. He got him on the hot seat. Then they're going to go vice versa.
Let me know when you're ready, brother.
All right, let's get it in.
All right, I'm starting your tone.
I'm ready right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Tahaka, I got a question for you. You know, because you're always speaking about a government being inside of an organization. Now, do you know the difference between a federal charter and a state charter?
Do I got to answer him?
Yeah, you got
I don't know. Question answer round, brother.
Well, I'm going to tell you the difference between a federal charter and a state charter. Both of them subject to the jurisdiction of the United States of America, under the United States jurisdiction, and the federal state would a lot of times override some that deal with state matters, so to speak. So if your charter is subject to the United States of America, how are you a government?
You ask me that?
How are you a government? Yes, sir. How are you a government under the United States of America in your charter?
The reason why is no. Listen to me. The reason why is because Prophet Noble Drew Ali set the organization up as a government. All right. And to show and prove that, I've shown it many times. But Prophet Noble Drew Ali set it up as a government. Now, with that being said,
so if he set it up as a government, wouldn't this contradict what he just said when he said he was in the organization, being a nation within a nation, until he can become one who get up out of the situation they under? You got to accept it for what it is. Wouldn't this contradict that? But I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
You look at Herds Provide statute and with the Prophet Noble Drew Ali set the movement under, it gives you the liberties and the freedoms to move freely. But that's a whole nother conversation. And this back and forth right here is not going to get nowhere. You can't win.
Okay, you say Herds Revised statute. Now, everything I showed y'all, he said I made up stuff. All I did was put pictures there with Morris seals on it. But those were the prophet's words that I brought forth. And I started to actually use the book itself, but I thought he would be ingenuous enough to let y'all know that. Herds Revised statutes, family, for those who may not be familiar with it, deal with religious laws under religious corporation acts and so forth and so on. You're dealing with a religious corporation. All Masonic orders, all fraternal orders, all churches, all groups are under this same law. So, if they are not governments, how did that sound? If they are not governments and they are on the Herds Revised statute, they've been given charters to establish their organization. The Hebrew Israelites, if they're chartered under the United States, their charter is subject to that jurisdiction. But they're not claiming to be a government, though. So how does Herds statutes supersede divine constitutional law? And also, my government is under theocratic law. Herds Revised statutes is under ecclesiastical body politic. So if you're on the ecclesiastical body politic, which is Roman law, you're on the Roman law, European Christian law. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali said he can't get a church in Christianity back to the European. Then how are you doing that, claiming you're on the Herds statute, and yet being a citizen of the United States as a government under the United States? Does that make sense to you?
Brother, you are emphatically wrong. And that would be a whole other debate. I don't have time to prove it. Can I answer?
Yeah, but
you are emphatically wrong, and that would be a whole nother debate. But what I can prove is that the prophet set the movement up like that, and that's how I'm moving. The argument is, let me finish. The argument is who is following the prophet. It's not about your interpretation of how the prophet set the movement up. It's about fact.
You're not following the prophet.
No, let me finish.
You're on the hot seat dealing with me.
Let me finish.
You're not following the prophet.
Brother, I hope this 6 is up.
Produce the document, brother. I want to give you that opportunity. Show us what a prophet said. He established the Moorish Science Temple as a government. Not your philosophizing.
I'm not. Listen.
Can you show it?
No, yes, I can, but I'm not showing that right now because it's just going to be a waste of time. Because I proved my point. I proved my point.
If you ain't showing it, you proving me right.
I'm not digging nothing up. I dug up enough. I done dug up enough.
Brother. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question then. This is another question to you. You know, if in fact that you are who you say you are, and you are following the teachings of the prophet, because that's what we're dealing with, then why can't you comprehend the prophet said he was going to leave the European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government? And if he said that, why would he say that if they was already in a government? He said he was going to leave the Moors here, the European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government. Why would he say that if he already had a government?
That is hearsay. That is not the hadith. That's another hearsay thing, but let's deal with the hearsay.
Now, this the guy that been putting Moorish guides all up here, and that's what he going off of. And Moorish guides, most of them have some of the hadiths, if not all of them or most of them, they come from the Moorish guides. See, this is hypocrisy. You can do this, though, when a people is not knowledgeable and get away with it.
The prophet didn't say, I'm going to leave you here long enough to run or create and run a government.
1 minute left, y'all.
That could be interpreted as run this government. So that's up to interpretation. I'm not into all that. I'm into facts.
Okay. You say that's interpretation, right?
I'm into facts and hearsay.
Okay, if we take all the hadiths away, Tahaka, let's just remove all the hadiths. Then what statements do you have from Prophet Noble Drew Ali?
I got what Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, study the Holy Quran, the Divine Constitution and bylaws, and I got his writings, his personal writings.
If you have his writings, they came from the same source of the people who gave
Show it.
I just showed it.
You ain't showing nothing.
I showed you the video. What have you shown? You can't show me that.
And I'm done.
Because I'm following the prophet. This is like another minute, brother. He said that
brother.
I'm European here long enough to keep the
All right.
Let me get this off, brother.
Hold on for a second, family. All right, now it's your turn. You got 6 minutes to ask his brother some questions.
I don't have no question for this guy, and I'm gonna use like 2 minutes. The brother is whining.
No. I'm not ask questions. You can't.
No. I don't have to. Listen, I don't need to ask him any questions.
All right, well, let's get to
all my questions in the debate.
I'm just saying, brother. This is the question part.
Brother, listen to me. Please don't tell me how to do this. He answered all my questions in the debate.
It's a question and answer session.
I don't have no questions. You answer my questions. I yield my questions. You answer all my questions.
He don't want to answer questions, y'all. Let's move.
All right. No, I want to make a statement. I can use my time to make a statement.
This is the question and answer part, brother. You got to ask the question.
I don't have to.
All right, judges. Let's get to the judges then. All right.
So you see, he couldn't answer any of my questions with documentation because he know he was full of malarkey, right? And so y'all keep following these individuals, man. This is crazy, man, that one can dupe you. Like, this is why I give praises to the great God Allah that he had me up 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning studying, for years, and prepared me for this new era in time, where I'll be on the front line standing in defense of my people. See, I'm not here for wins or likes. I'm not here, for somebody to big me up and so forth and so on. I don't care about that. But one thing, that is sure, the people see the truth. And that's why most of the people were saying, man, really, comedian won this discussion by default. But the judges gave it to Tahaka, for reasons that are unknown to many, but I know what time it is. So a lot of them went off of the course. If you go back, you'll see that they was all making their statement upon, y'all was supposed to be talking about the Circle 7, and that was not the meaning or the title of the discussion.
You see, again, this was the title of the discussion right here. Who follows Prophet Noble Drew Ali? And I proved that Tahaka don't follow Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He can dress it up like he want to. You see what I'm saying? He can dress it up. He ran for 2-3 years before he finally ever sat down. And this is why. It's just something about me that bring that hatred up out of him, that stirs ethers up. And all I do is bring the truth to them. You know, so, and I tried to extend the olive branch to the one, and you're going to see his behavior. That's going to let you know who will really follow Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
I was going to choose that shit peeking around, man. I'm gonna go to Black Jesus Minister because he always is surprised.
Now, this brother Black Jesus Minister, I addressed him in the video because me and him had some back and forth, you know, in the back chat, you know, when I first came forth to the Lions Den. But I salute this brother for taking the high road, you know, because him and Tahaka, like I pointed out to him before this discussion, they have a relationship with each other. You know, and so being that they have a relationship with each other, you know, I pointed that out and I asked the brother just demonstrate integrity. He said, I'm a man of integrity, and this is how he came forth with his judgment.
Let's go, Black Jesus.
All right, y'all here, brother?
Yeah.
All right, this was indeed a very informative debate. I have learned a lot. But again, the title of this debate is, who's following correctly the teachings of Noble Drew Ali? Who is following most correctly the teachings of Noble Drew Ali? The teachings of Noble Drew Ali, the foundation of his teaching, are clearly delineated in the 7-circle Quran, or clearly delineated in the 7-circle Quran. All I heard tonight was arguments over fezzes and hats, flags, who is certified, who's not certified, who was sanctioned, who was not sanctioned after the breakup, after the death of the founder. You know, sidebar arguments about this and about that. I was expecting both of you brothers to go to the Circle 7 Quran and to compare each other's teachings and to expose one another as to whom is teaching contrary or falsely to what is written in the Circle 7 Quran. That did not happen at all on both sides. So on that fact, dear brothers and sisters, I'm going to have to remain neutral, and I think both of you brothers failed to prove who is closely teaching correctly the teaching of Noble Drew Ali based on the foundation of the religion and the faith, the Quran.
We didn't mention the
Hold on,
Quran.
man. Hey. Hold up, brother.
Judah, hold
That
up.
goes sometime in the day.
Hold up. I respect the statement, but I want
All right,
That wasn't a debate.
you gotta just chill out.
Hold up, Judah.
Like the music. Now we gotta get to the other guy. Hold up.
Let me say this.
No vote.
Let me say this. No, I'm not
wrong with that.
I'm not changing his opinion.
I'm
Hold up.
just saying, come on, chill out, man.
You gotta correct the topic, Judah.
All right, what's the topic?
We didn't mention according to the Circle 7.
Right.
Simply said who's following Noble Deuteronomy.
Okay, all right.
And see, from that point right there, it should have brought the people back in sync. Because even before the topic was brought on the manifest, I actually said to Judah, you know, what is the topic? And I said this so that the people would get the topic. And the other judges didn't get it. So, you know, you seen everything that was said by those judges, you know, but that brother there, he took a neutral position. And I know he did that, you know, because he was close with Tahaka, but he also was reflecting upon what I stated to him prior to. So I salute the brother for taking the high road in that special way, you know, and basically, you know, all of the other brothers, they didn't have understanding at all of what was going on, and they came pretty much the same way because they was thinking that it was going to be a Circle 7 demonstration. Even after I pointed it out, that wasn't our discussion, you know. So you seen the outcome if you already seen this discussion. If not, you can watch it. But I want to show you by actions, you know, what took place in regards to dealing with this message, and you can see, you know, if Tahaka is following the prophet. Because I want to bring this to a closure now. Let me see.
I'm gonna knock your brains out of
Here you go, right here.
All right, let's go ahead. Talk about congratulations.
One more minute. The reason why I was pointing out the flag
At the fulfill
Okay, here you go.
prophet talk.
This is when I spoke and I extended the olive branch to the brother, and you'll see how it ends.
Commissioner, go ahead.
I'm gonna wrap it up.
Unmute your mic.
Sir, this is what I want to say to all our family here, right? You know, that's on the panel. I see that most of our family didn't understand the topic that we was discussing. Again, it had nothing to do with the teachings of Prophet Noble Ali. You know, we were here to show who was following Noble Ali. You see? And the whole measure had to do with unfoldment, which we admitted that the prophet established the MST of 8. That's something that we don't deny. What we're saying is the prophet himself, all those statements you see me quoting, came from Noble Ali, not me, in regards to dealing with government. You see what I'm saying? So he spoke on a government coming on the manifest. And if that was the case, then the temple in the state it was not the government. Tahaka didn't answer those questions. The judges didn't consider that. As you stated, Brother Judah, that is very key. You know, that in and of itself. And then he didn't even want to ask me any questions. You know, and so the main measure, as far as dealing with the teachings of the prophet, what we teach in the Moorish American government, the beauty of it is that we dealing with being a successionist people. We don't deal with demarcation and division. I don't see Tahaka as my enemy. I never attacked Tahaka. Tahaka attacked the Grand National Chairman. And I think the chairman might be on here, you know, that he can defend himself if he is. But my main measure is to the brother is if you in the temple and you're doing what the temple say, because contrary to the panel, Tahaka is not following exactly what the prophet taught. He's going to correct what he feels is in error. You see, and those outside of that wouldn't understand that. The chairman had already did that outside of Tahaka. And that was the basis of what I was saying. Was that in accordance with what Noble Ali taught? The chairman coming behind the prophet, fulfilling the prophecy, bringing in what we call the unfoldment out of a mere organization into a government, not subject to the United States government. And when I talk about the United of the Asiatic States, That's the Moorish Divine and National Movement. That's where all of us come together. And that's not just the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's us in the Nuwabians. That's us in the NOI. That's us in the MST of A. That's us in all these different organizations. They, to us, are a part of the uniting of the Asiatic states. Now, after all this discussion, because this is what it boiled down to, Tahaka, regardless of whatever position you take, I don't see it as a win or a loss. But if you are not doing the work to unite the Moors, then, brother, that's outside of the fold of what the prophet taught. Now, the olive branch is being extended to you, you see, to demonstrate and bring your Moorish noble temple under the Moorish American government. Because it's going to be here whether you like it or not. You see what I'm saying? And that's all basically I have to say, but it's all love to the MST of A. You know, again, the title was not, is our teaching correct according to the Circle 7? Because I even brought Circle 7 teachings out there. It is, are we following the teachings of Prophet Noble Deuteronomy? And if he said he was going to leave the European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government, somebody had to fulfill what the prophet had in mind. And the Moorish American government is the only one doing it. You can't do that as an organization. I don't care what you call yourself. All right. That's my point. Just to bring clarity.
All right.
Salute to the family.
Peace, family. All right. Let's go ahead and let Tahaka say a few words, and I'd like Kama Ashabe to get in once Tahaka may get done. Go ahead, family.
Let me say this. We forget that the debate is who follows Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And I agree with Commissioner Adap on that. It's not who follows the Quran of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet Noble Drew Ali's lessons are extensive. They just don't start and stop with the Quran. They got the divine constitution and bylaw. It has the questionnaire. My job in this debate was to show that there has been so much remixes that there's no way that they can follow the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And for the brother that had the messed up notes, with all due respect, brother, you said some stuff that wasn't even mentioned in the debate, but then you say I disrespect the law by using a language, a euphemism, if you will, with a language. Let me tell you something. Disrespecting the law, changing a divine prophet prayer, and you think me saying Allah is egregious? But somebody changes a divine prophet prayer, and that's okay. Somebody changes a divine prophet doctrine, the divine constitution and bylaws, and that's okay. But you got a problem with me imitating Arabic? You can't be serious, but I guess you are. But that's fine. To my brother Commission, I will never unite with those who practice things under a lie. I will never. I will be friends with you to the best of my ability. But if you follow a lie according to the standard, not that I say, and let me say this, I'm gonna take one more minute. The reason why I was pointing out the flag is because there's a principle behind what the prophet put together. The divine constitution and bylaws, the symbol. The whole structure gives you the ability to function within the divine movement. Remove the structure, there is no more divine. You can't take something that is divine that haven't even been around 200 years and say, okay, now it's time to unfold it because I had a dream. No. And all due respect to this platform, brother, Jeremiah Judah, with all due respect, brother, I wasn't going to ask him any questions so we could argue for the next 20 minutes. I just wasn't going to do it. So if that would have cost me the debate,
that's part of the debate,
brother. If that would have cost me the debate, I will go ahead and lose the debate, then argue with somebody back and forth with points that have already been proven, brother. But with all due respect, I wasn't going to ask something that was going to go on for the next 20 minutes.
You had 6 minutes, bro. It was just 6 minutes. That's all. That's part of the deal, man. That's just like me in a baseball game, and I'm up 10 points, and then I just quit at the 7th inning. I gotta go to the 8th and 9th inning stretch.
I yield my time. I didn't quit in a debate. You can yield your time. I don't have to take my 15 minutes. I can yield my time.
But see, by him answering your questions, that could give him a way to express more and win more points over to the judge. I'm just talking to my judges. That is a learning lesson for the judges. But I'm saying not. Hold on, brother. I'm not gonna mess up your shine. I promise you, because I'm not gonna do that. What I'm saying to the judges, you got to take in consideration when a brother do not finish the debate. We had that before in the debate, and the brother lost the debate because he did not finish part of the debate.
Brother, I finished the debate. I had no question. All of my question was answered.
Okay, brother.
Okay, let me say this, brother.
Let's roll out, man. Let's hang out.
Don't worry about it, Commissioner. Let's end it in a peaceful manner. Everybody was edified by this.
You see, this is why you can't.
I just want to say, brother. I just wanted to say this to you, right?
That's my point.
This is what I wanted to say to you, brother. If you can't demonstrate love, you ain't demonstrate nothing. So at the end of the day, you in the Moore Science Temple, do the work you're doing, brother. All is well. I don't attack people, but please don't attack the Moorish American government.
That's all I say.
Attack the Moorish American government. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day,
man, come on, man. Can we move on? We're gonna entertain.
That I say peace and love, brother.
All right.
Peace and love.
All right, let's go ahead and
so you see
congratulations,
that
brother.
He has no love in him.
I mean, the Lions Den champ, he checking you out. Because remember when I first came at you, he wanted to have a conversation or discussion with you. So maybe you and him could say something. What was the question that you had for Taharka Bay? What would y'all discuss? Taharka Bay, he said after the debate, you black just like me.
Work more with the spirit of the prophet out front, okay? It's not about what's on your head. It's about what's in it. Come from the heart, my brother. Come from the heart. Let's take off the bow ties. Let's stop.
I'm going to knock the brains out of my seat. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I'm not entertaining this nonsense. Take it or leave it. Have my seat. Now, I'm not going to be patient with you. Lying on the prophet over throughout these take it or leave it. I'm going to knock the brains out of them.
Come on, Taharka, man. Come on, all right?
I didn't expect you like that, brother. I didn't come at you like that.
That's the Asperger's syndrome kicking in.
I didn't know this. At the end of the day, this is my goal. I'm not trying all this fun and the crime. Take it or leave it.
I debate you on any point you got to make.
Uh-oh.
In the bounds of righteousness. With the steps. Circle around your passion.
Okay. We got to be a little bit more humble with each other. That's all I'm saying, man. At the end of the day, you black just like me. I don't care if you Christian, a Muslim, a Hebrew. When the police pull your black ass over, he ain't gonna ask you that.
Nah, come on, let's watch this debate up. Don't try and beat us, You've been getting on me for 3 weeks about this day 700. You've been getting on me. I'm running. You antagonized me, and now I come in and make a fire, and now you wanna act like you wanna go soft with it. You've been getting that every week. Don't try to smooth it over. I don't take this beat.
You won this, okay, brother. You won the debate, but
Let the last brother talk. Let's get out of here.
Hey,
Calm down, family.
go chill. Let me close it up.
I mean, all right, let's chill out. Let's see, hey, listen, hold up, everybody. Now see, when I came on his platform,
You see that,
and he
Morris
had the
King?
worst judge from the planet Earth. I didn't act like that. Hold up. You had
That's
the
that's
worst
that
judge
hatred
from the
now.
planet Earth. Your judges didn't even know what the hell they was doing. I don't care. And they get out of the way. Both of these brothers. Hold up, let me mute you. No, man, 'cause I didn't act like this. Hold up, bro. Hold up, bro. I gotta mute you.
Good look, bro. End it, bro.
No, hold up now, man, because he cutting up. He cutting up, bro. So I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it. Hold up, I'm gonna tell you something, man. You had the worst judges in debate history.
Let's go.
Now, these, get on the show right now, bro. Go, right now. You can ride out right now, because I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I didn't act like this on the platform. Hold up, I'm gonna tell you something. I did not act like this on this platform. And he had the worst judge in debate history. Because at the end of the debate, the dude said, well, both of them didn't, neither one of them proved that the Northern Kingdom came to the United States. Well, guess what? That wasn't my position. But did you see me act a fool like you, brother? So don't come on this platform and act a fool. Because I respected the decision and I moved on. Now let's go ahead and let the champ close it out. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Because you acted, man, bro, you disrespect the platform for acting the way you act.
Okay.
Go ahead, champ.
All right. Getting hot. Okay, so it goes clearly where this man is, and the other person is saying, well, we're changing it to keep up to date with the times, which I have no problem with, but the topic was who follows the actual man's teachings, and that was Taharka. Do you have the right to change it? That's up to opinion. So it was a very good debate compared to the last one I saw. And yes, I was supposed to have a conversation with Taharka. I don't know what happened with that. Me and the brother above, Truth Ministries, supposed to have a conversation.
Y'all preliminary tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. But good, it was good. People brought their facts and information. I just wish we could have these conversations without. We don't have to get all emotional and crazy. And I understand where it comes from.
No, hold on, bro. I'm saying after the worst judging I ever seen in my debate life, I left humbly. I didn't say a word. I didn't act a goddamn fool. This brother won and still cut the fuck up. Excuse my language. He still cut up.
I saw both. You're exactly right.
You seen how I bowed out gracefully, even though his judge couldn't tear an apple from a goddamn pear. That judge you had, Taharka Bay, was the worst judge in debate history. Because at the end of the goddamn debate, he said, well, neither one of these brothers proved that the Northern Kingdom came to the United States. That wasn't my position. And you sit there and you agree with him, Taharka Bay. You agree with him. At least I did finish the debate. But what you did, you tapped out in the seventh inning. So to me, you lost. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You lost. Because when you quit, you ain't finished the debate, you get 7 points knocked off. Real talk. With that being said, we're gonna get up out of here. Shalom, Rakatah.
Peace, brother Jeremiah. We give honor to you, brother, for that measure. Brother, give a statement.
Yeah, so y'all seen it, family. You know it don't get no plainer than that right there. It's right there, and y'all seen how it ended. And that's why I say that cat came on here last night, all in the mix, and don't even know the sauce. You know, that's what his view is. He want to convolute the conversation we was having last night, trying to deal with unity. So we're gonna keep it moving. We ain't gonna go back and forth with this foolery. Because like I said earlier, I'm not into trying to deal with things just on a competitive level, so to speak, because I'm not in the competition. That's what we teach in my paradigm. I'm more into teaching my people the truth and giving them the truth. And you heard me say that a couple of times. Them judges didn't know what was being judged. And you heard Judah tell him that he lost. You see, he was so much in his feelings, in his hatred, to where he couldn't even bear the question that I was asking him. You see, so if anybody would like to come on the link, all is well. Like I say, long as one's respectful, all is well. I ain't gonna kick nobody off, and it ain't no matter of disagreeing. I don't care about that right there. My thing is being respectful. When you come on the platform, But other than that, everybody got a voice here. Everybody got a voice here, and that's what it boiled down to. And at the end of the day, in that discussion, Tahaka, like I showed, the man has his own noble temples. Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't bring that. He can try to hide behind the MST of a teaching, but he still went in opposition to his very own teachers that gave him credentials. He got the hand of every grand body, at him, pretty much, because he has been exposed. You see, he's been exposed. Agent Trojan horse. You see, I ain't say that. He said that out of his own mouth. That's why I called it Operation Noble Temple, Agent Trojan horse. But he following the prophet, then gonna try to come at my chairman and us because we building government. And then he gonna try to say that the Moorish Science Temple is a government. Come on, man. If it was, then Prophet Noble Drew Ali wouldn't have said that he was gonna leave the European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government. Because the MST of A would already be the government. And good and well, the MST of A was on the 501c3. Good and well, it's a lawfully chartered organization under the state of Illinois. So how in the world is it going to be a government and it's chartered under the state of Illinois? It ain't even a federal charter. It's under the state charter of Illinois. Government is what we demonstrate. We ain't under no state or no federal charter. We are successionists. And if Prophet Noble Drew Ali spoke on government, and that was his intent, then we are following the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's what I was trying to get through to their head, but they didn't understand what we was talking about. So, and I showed them, I quoted all the prophet, what he said. Not what I said, but what the prophet said. But they're not more, so they didn't get it. Whoop-de-doo. But it is what it is, family. We're going to keep bringing this truth, like I said. And we're going to keep giving it to the people. You feel me? And so my thing, again, is just giving our people the insight so that they can bridge the gaps. I'm not here to go back and forth with no religious gang banging. If it was like that, I'd still be out on the manifest, demonstrating other measures. You see? Yeah, I want my people to see unity. I want our people to see oneness, regardless of what they call themselves. They can be NOI, they can be New Black Panther Party 5%, all of that. They still my people. Even with the brother, I tried to give him an olive branch. You seen what he said. I ain't gonna unite with no lie. And so forth and so on. But when he was in there speaking on our rostrum, he didn't have that same energy, family. And that's what I'm talking about. The next day, this guy basically exposed himself. He exposed himself. You know? So it is what it is, family. Ain't no big deal. I ain't crying over spilled milk. You know, and I don't even mess with that guy like that right there. I just did this to address, you know, the brother from last night. And the same thing with Tahuti. Even our conversation, it was over their head. You know, and most of them people was already set against me. Some of them brothers literally came out their mouth and said it. Some of them brothers literally came out their mouth and said, I'm biased. You know, I'm biased against the brother. And so that's what I had to come through, you know, and even coming up into this stuff. Because I had been on Facebook a long time defending the government, but I didn't know nothing about no lions then. You know, and going into these conversations or whatever the case may be, they reached out to me, you know, and I started going on the platforms and dealing with that. I had already been on Sarnetta platform, and your boy came on there and tried to attack me, and I beat him up. That's the first time. Well, actually, that was the time where I got hope to it, you know, because I'm always bringing sources. And that ain't what I be looking for. But if you come at me, then I always been like that, even in the physical aspect. I ain't never been nobody that starts stuff with people. I never been a crap starter, you know, but I can finish it though. And then when I get done, everybody looking at me like I'm the bad guy, like I'm the one that started it. They ain't looking at how much they've been poking the bear. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, it's a grand drawing, family. We're going to keep bringing the truth. We're going to keep the vibrations high. We on God frequency. But we got to put the truth out here when you go to trying to assassinate somebody's character, you know, using them Eurocentric tactics. Like the brother said last night, the brother definitely was looking like he was trying to demonstrate some antagonism, you know, and I'm giving you the olive branch the whole way, you know, but it is what it is. You can't urinate on me, family, and tell me that it's raining. It ain't gonna work like that right there. You know, we got to be real. So I just want to give honor to my family, you know, for being up, checking this out. You know, we got some greater things coming, you know, and we gonna always give you the truth. We gonna give you the truth so you can go and research it on your own. You can go and look at the records yourself, you know, and all is well. You know, that's what it's about. You know, giving our people, you know, what they need to be able to elevate their consciousness. You know, so that's where we at with it. You know, honors to our family. I want to give honors to our family. I'm gonna get up here and shout out brother Born Dog out, brother Idris Mir. You know, brother Terrence the Great. Want to give honors to you, brother El Yashar, Bay Yisrael. Want to give honors to you as well, family, and also Consul General Kuja Hootie Bay up here with us in this late night library session. Honors to you, grand man. We'll see you in our next measure in a few hours. You know, so that being said, family, you know, keep your hearts and minds pure with love, you know, as it already is, and keep spreading that love, man. That's what our people need. We don't need no more hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and none of that harm. You know, demonstrate the love, family. It's all right to love. It's all right. You know, we ain't got to be ashamed of, you know, showing love and spreading love, man. You know, that's what it boils down to. If that information that you studied don't give you that type of vibration, then you studying the wrong thing. But if it make you better, you know, if it adds on to the credit side of your character to make you a better individual, all is well, man. We salute you. No matter what it is you demonstrate. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different, man. I got love for you. For real, you know. But let me go ahead and close this demonstration out as we normally do. And we just say all is well and gratitude. I'm gonna see if I can pull a little trike up here to play for our family. Yeah, this an old one right here. But it's still relevant right now. Wrote that one a long time ago. This was my pre-government days here. Let me see.
Gas from heaven into hell, we a product of prison. All I hate is for the system, we unloaded from pistols. Deep within that dark chamber was the seed of my anger. Hopeless black souls in danger, even God was a stranger. Before we came in this world, devils plotted to hang us. Faith in the gospel of Nat Turner, blazing our burners. Moses seen a burning bush, I believe it was George. She did Uncle Tom and Fugazi, nigga, slave employed. And all that talking about trapping don't certify you gangster. Cause I know plenty pushovers who claim they gunslingers. Commercializing the streets call me the Punisher. Cause I'm back to punish you perpetrators, ain't one of us. In new flesh, I'm the thoughts of God and Malcolm and Dewey. I'm a southern street for God, a governor until they do me. And I'm integrated with struggle until my dying days. You can take a thug from the street, but not as gutter ways. I'm street incarnated.
That one right there is definitely old. Let me see here. I had this one right here.
Mama's only son. You know, I want to let y'all know when I say that I was, within the belly of a demon, I'm in no way disrespecting my mother because I'm speaking of the wilderness of North America. Or should I say North Hell? Relate. I'm mama's only son with no remorse by any means. It don't give a damn if I struggle within the belly of this demon. Would it be better if my father kept deceiving? I can't escape, that's why I'm screaming. I'm mama's only son with no remorse by any means. It don't give a damn if I struggle within the belly of this demon. Would it be better if my father kept deceiving? I can't escape, that's why I'm screaming. Snotty knows another fatherless child. Witness my struggle lacerated from the womb. So I ring it from the muscle till I'm sealed within my tomb. Visualize a rebel, show me a sunrise. I'm willing to dance with the devil. Sick from my baby grip with cocaine and my infamy. I guess since elementary, raised in the battlefield. Accustomed to troublemaking with multiple explanations. I was driving my mama crazy daily with this aggravation. When I got a good ass whipping, it made me even worse. Cause I was a hard-headed bastard, kicking dirt. I was cursing my principal, leaving campus intoxicated. Repping 424 LGP when I regulated. So they labeled me game-related. Them devils underestimated my passion, upholding my pride as a side of assassin. So they labeled me game-related. Them devils underestimated my passion, upholding my pride as a side of assassin. My mama's only son with no remorse by any means. It don't give a damn if I struggle within the belly of this demon. Would it be better if my father kept deceiving? I can't escape, that's why I'm screaming. I'm mama's only son with no remorse by any means. It don't give a damn if I struggle within the belly of this demon. Would it be better if my father kept deceiving? I can't escape, that's why I'm screaming. Became a man before my time, pursuing the streets for reputation. My first lesson was execution, no hesitation. Copping G's on robbing sprees when flowing my nine. Living reckless with loaded iron and a wasted mind. Channeling my anger through blazing chambers of street villain. Acknowledge killings from drug dealing and slug feeling. Whoever figured my future would be a cell block. When I flew away from my flock and started pushing rocks. My old block is flooded with blood and chalk lines. My mentors promoted rage and criminal minds. So I admired the soldiers armed with heavy choppers. Cultivated within poverty, bred to hate the coppers. My first offense was lynching the overseer son. If I'm guilty, then take a look at what his father done. My mama said she often prayed at night I make it home knowing I was hell, cause my papa was a rolling stone son with no remorse by any means. And who gives a damn if I struggle within the belly of this demon? Would it be better if my father kept his semen? I can't escape, that's why I'm screaming. A mama's only son with no remorse by any means. And who gives a damn if I struggle within the belly of this demon? Would it be better if my father kept his semen? I can't escape, that's why I'm screaming. How can you justify the starving of innocent babies? I call my Lord to witness the way deceiver made me. Now the world is calling me crazy, but can they point a finger? When I know brothers that's doing life for a misdemeanor, releasing vengeance in society with no remorse. So blame the system for supplying me with wicked thoughts. Wish I was conscious of self-awareness when I was younger. Maybe I would have seen a better way to feed my hunger. My heart is torn asunder from all the hell I see. But when the world see change, they say I'm chasing dreams. But what they mean is that they hate to see me living better. Cause when I'm bleeding in chains, I can't receive a letter. It's now or never, cause I'm out of sight and out of mind. Begging the Lord for signs until the end of time. I see no peace in this generation. We breed haters, this my fate to be subdued by this wicked nation. With no remorse by any means. And who gives a damn if I struggle within the belly of this demon? Would it be better if my father kept his semen? I can't escape, that's why I'm screaming. A mama's only son with no remorse by any means. And who gives a damn if I struggle within the belly of this demon? Would it be better if my father kept his semen? I can't escape, that's why I'm screaming.
We all was born belly of this demon that we call the wilderness of North Hell, family. You see what I'm saying? And so we just trying to make our way and come into who it is that we were destined to be. You see? So gratitude to the family, peace, love, and law at all costs. And y'all already know we're going to keep on with the keep it on. We'll see you at the next juncture. Until then, y'all keep giving them that truth, family. We right here with you. Peace and love.